An example of how little our government officials know about what's happening in private equity? Just a really fun example. Why do they want to shut down TikTok? What's the excuse they've been using? We know it's because Meta is paying them, but what excuse are they using?
Because China, it's dangerous that they're going to own our data. It's for national security.
All of the politicians have kids in private school for their safety, not because they're elitist. It's for their safety. They're in some of the most elite private schools in the United States, in every state in the United States. Do you know who acquired the largest collection of private school, like super elite private schools in the United States?
Who?
It sounds Italian. Primavera Private Equity. Do you want to know who they're owned by?
Who?
The Chinese Communist Party.
It's about to go down. Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend Morning Show is back Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Sean, that's me.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.
We the worst records, baby. We about to create a perfectly horrible song. Y'all know I've been in the gym, and now all I wear is tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do. Michael Sean wears tight shirts every day. I wear tight shirts because I'm working out some. And if I wear the right size, you won't see none of my little cuts in my arms or whatever. Short sleeve tight shirts in any type of weather. People talking trans when they see me in the street.
Your shirt's so tight, we can see your heartbeat.
Man, clown me if you want, I'm sticking to my guns. And when the summer comes, it's gonna be fun. You can crack jokes and treat me like a jerk, but one day you'll see my six-pack right through my shirt. And even if I wanted to, I just can't stop. I just might rock an Ezekiel crop top.
Whoa.
Did I take it too far? What?
All right. With that. All right, let's go, y'all. Got a lot to do. Financial Rebels going to join us today. Jay Black will be here when he gets here. You know, Jay Black normally shows up 10 after, something like that. Today, April 24th. Today, Friday Eve. The day before Friday. We got a lot to talk about. This Shannon Sharp situation that's blown all the way up. Settlements have been offered, all that, lawsuit situations. Everybody and their mama got an opinion. We talked about it yesterday. We're going to dig deeper into it. Just have a little messy fun. Isn't that what he did on Club Shay Shay? So we're going to have a little fun. See what happens. What else? We got all types of opinions against, for, warnings that he got from comedians. We got people defending him, people not defending him. But there was allegedly a $50 million contract on the line with ESPN. So we'll dig into that because somebody from ESPN spoke up. And I'm not going to get all into this now because we got time. But I got some other topics just to lighten things up because I got a funny feeling. I may be wrong, but I got a funny feeling things might get a little tense in here and we might need a whole lot of
barbecue and foot massage. Jones barbecue and foot massage. Better come down here, get some of this shit. You like to eat.
It's our stress reliever. That is the break everything up. Yeah, the title was things men can't do or say without being labeled. That was supposed to be the topic. And I was supposed to bring one of your favorite people on here and see if we could have an adult conversation about it. Because y'all call me such the, for lack of a better term, an overused term, a cliche. Y'all keep thinking I'm a hater. Jay Black, he's thinking I'm a hater. I wanted to have a conversation about a topic. And I just wanted to let y'all, I wanted to play something from somebody who y'all claim I'm hating on and see if y'all could be honest and say, how would you take it if a man had said the same thing about his situation? But I'm going to feel the room out. See if do I have the energy to actually deal with y'all not being able to detach yourself from the person and just look at people as human beings and say, would you take it the same way if a man said this? So before we get into all that, I don't know. I sent Financial Rebel we also are supposed to have my man D Brad finally tell his second part to the story of the Chappelle Show. Let me write that down. Chappelle Show stories. He worked on the Chappelle Show, so he wants to let you know what what people thought was a conspiracy. Ain't no conspiracy about Dave Chappelle. They were trying to destroy him, but we'll see if he pops on here. So it should be fun. And in the middle of all that, we should be able to laugh, crack jokes about each other. Look, I even got a laid back topic, a lighthearted topic about you feel some type of way if your woman goes to get laser hair removal. Listen, I set it up so that just in case things get out of hand, we can talk about laser hair removal. Things of that nature. We can soften it up. So let's get to the hellos and the good mornings. Hellos and the good mornings. Let's see who was first up to bat. Oh, Coco already here. Coco been first up to bat for a while. All right, you already know. All right, Coco, what up? Good morning. Hey, it's early. Sorry if the guys ain't even up. No, I came down here to look at my computer and I said, what the hell is he doing on here? Tell me about it, Miss Parker. I'm vacuum cleaning already because I can't sleep. Oh yeah, I've been there. My sleep patterns used to be bad for years and years. I thank God every night when I lay down and I feel myself falling asleep. I'm like, thank you, God. It's tough. Good morning, everyone. Asha, what up, boo? Good morning, beautiful people. Right back at you. Savage Jeanette is at least great morning. It's supposed to be 80 degrees today. Woo-wee. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not a winter person, people. I'm not a winter person. I like being there throwing some shorts, a tank top or a t-shirt and keep it moving. Yes, LaShawn, what up there, mama? Jeanette Bush, Jeanette. Oh, don't forget, y'all, I'm still plotting on Takeover Legend meet and greet. I Googled the title and now the show popped up. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Jeanette, call me after the show. Y'all plans after the show. I don't know what y'all got going on. Boo. Jay
After
Black
the show is the after party. After the show, we got a date. We got a date set for the party.
They got a whole bunch going on over here. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Legs. Good morning, Jay Black. You can take it from Miss Parker right there. All right. All righty. All right, we got a lot, Jay Black. Financial Rebel's supposed to join us when he gets on here.
Okay. Financial Rebel. David. Shelly, what up, Shelly?
Bradley, D. Brad is supposed to be on here. He's supposed to come on here and tell us the final part of the Chappelle Show. What went on back there. But Shannon Sharp. But boy, I got views and opinions from multiple people. A lot. Good day, Beth Ann. Good day, Visions Hair Salon over there in Lumberton.
Nikki.
On Route 38. We gotta record a commercial for you, Beth, and then play it on the show as our commercial break. We gotta go over there. We gotta record something. Jay Black, how was your night? How was your nigga night? I gotta watch
nigga night. My nigga night. All was good. My mom reached out to me. She wanted to know about. She heard your story, and wanted to know that Mike really beat up and bully.
I got an update.
Bully a special needs person from the Goodwill. No, it was good though. Everybody's good and healthy. I like it when we wake up in the morning. So that's good stuff. Everybody healthy. LaShawn, what up, LaShawn?
Good morning, everybody. So the story yesterday, the Shannon Chef drama is not surprising at all. No, it's not. But we're gonna get all into it. So save your fire.
Nancy, good morning, Nancy.
Monica, what up, there, Ma? So for those who don't know, I almost got Jada Addict. I almost got Jada Addict shared yesterday that he had a bad set in Virginia, and I want to thank.
Bombed.
Yeah, come on, easy with the bombs. Nobody. That's like the N-word to us. Easy with the bombs. It didn't go well. What the hell?
Okay.
You don't say that to a comedian like that.
But I wanted to get back up.
But I wanted to thank him. That was super honest. He could have easily. Nobody went to that show here. He could have easily just fronted. That's beautiful work.
That. They carried me out. Yeah, he could have. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was on stage and I was on the radio in New York and Philly and Dallas, I used to be like, it don't matter what I do here. This is before social media was popping. Because I'm going to get on the radio and say, I tore this down anyway. So,
the perception is, Mike killed all of them shows.
It don't matter what y'all say. But now, they be like, we can record your ass and prove. So the guy that I almost got into a physical altercation with because he yelled at some young 12-year-olds for riding their bikes. And I stepped to him. Then he came to my job. I stepped to him. He tried to step to me, and then I punked him again. Then he walked off, and everything almost got crazy. And I was thinking about, because I said, maybe this guy, he said some things that were off. It didn't make any sense. So, and everybody started clowning me. Oh, he probably part of the spectrum. He works for Goodwill. Okay. So he probably president. So then I went to work yesterday, and I asked one of the ladies that works in the morning time, and I told her the story. And I said, maybe I overreact. She said, no, you didn't overreact. Oh, because I'm going to tell you what happened.
Ooh,
I was walking to the ATM, and when I was walking back, I was walking by the Goodwill, and there was a black woman, an older black woman, and Peg, who works with me, she's older. She's in her 70s. She's spunky. Peg is disrespectful, but I love her. But she's disrespectful, but she's spunky. She's old school. And she said, when I'm walking by, the woman is taking stuff to the Goodwill, and she dropped something out the basket. So when she drops something out the basket, she drops the basket down and falls out the basket. This guy comes on his own, the same guy, and puts the stuff in the basket. When he goes to pick it up, and she didn't ask him to pick it up, something falls out. And she says something fell, and he yells at her, I'm not your servant. Right? Black woman.
Okay.
So Peg says, and Peg is a firecracker. Like Peg been kicked out of spots. Allegedly. In our area. Okay, right? So she says she helps the black lady bring the basket in. She puts the basket in, the same basket. That same dude refuses to take her stuff.
I'm not touching it.
He said, I'm not touching it. He refuses. Peg said, Mike, I walked out because I didn't want any problems, Mike, because I know how I get. And she's not playing. This little white lady's like 4 foot tall. She got a mouth on her. So she was looking at me like, I'm glad you did it because somebody needs to control him. And his manager works in the morning time. I said, does he now? He said, I think you need to go over there and complain. So today after work, I think I'm going to today before work, I'm going to take a little journey over there. I'm going to think
you're going to be a snitch? No. You're going to have a conversation with the man.
Absolutely.
You're going to exercise your caring.
I'm going to think about it. Because I think if I walk in there with my work shirt on, it's going to be a whole different story because we're supposed to be allies.
So yeah, they'll listen to you differently. Yeah. I mean, somebody, you should be able to express your opinions and your thoughts, especially when there's a bunch of people with the same interactions. And yeah, it needs to be known so they can be able to, while he's at work, at least be able to check that. Or if he is on the spectrum and has a job coach, maybe let his aide know. Like, it need to be more conversations. But like you said, I'm fine with that.
And I saw him yesterday. I saw him walk by the store.
Did he see you?
Yeah, he saw me. I look right at him.
Did he ice grill you? He looked you up and down? He might not even remember you, dude. Like, it could be like...
He might not. But I know he looked at me. I looked at him. I was like, I'm not instigating nothing. Nikki, I'm on the way. What are we talking about? I'm on the way.
Nikki's in Orlando. It's 90 degrees today. So she rolled up in Florida.
Who her father was. This is still talks about the day. Oh, okay. What up, Super? All right. So Shannon Sharp thing is so we had a conversation yesterday, right? And I tried to tell y'all. Disney owns ESPN.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, I tried to tell y'all, you can't keep having sex tapes pop up and allegations pop up.
Racist.
And you can't keep that up and expect them to go through with this $50 million between $50 million and $100 million contract.
You punked them.
So No. I didn't. No. We're not starting.
No, I just thought the guy looked at you and he punked you. But go ahead, keep
I
going.
was like, huh?
So
Okay. What we doing?
The real game queen. Good morning.
It's a good day to have a good day. Yes, it is real.
Yes,
game
good to have a good day on purpose too. Be
Yeah.
intentional about having a good day today, people. All right, now back to the messiness.
So
Shannon Sharp, let's go.
And I try to tell y'all, don't try and play the race card with this. Do not try. Do not. I am not jumping out the window talking about the black man. No, I'm not. Not in this case. You a 56-year-old man. You done had, first of all, the fact that you didn't lose your job over the first one when you said it was mistakenly went on live is remarkable.
So for those, so he had sex and he went live on Instagram with just the audio.
If you don't know
he
that,
should have lost his job because of that.
The average person who worked for Disney, the only reason he didn't get fired is because Pat McAfee has sat up there and has a show that is pushing the limits so crazy that they have to be careful on who they can fire because they're letting dude, who I love his show, go crazy. They're letting curse words slip. They're letting F words slip. The whole night in the middle of the day. And I love the show. I'm here for it. 56 years old. Yes, Ash. So don't think I'm going to cape for you. The average personality that had that go on, that had that leak, would have lost the job right there. But now you want to be dealing with 19 and 20-year-olds. And you want to still be messing with these 20-year-olds this generation. Do I think she's lying? Do I think this is the run the pocket scam? Absolutely. That's just my opinion. Do I think Tony Busby is a scumbag who just sits there trying to extort people? Absolutely. But when you, at 56 years old, are putting yourself in situations like this over and over and over again, and I'll play it again because Financial Row is like, the podcast bigger. The podcast ain't making him $100 million. His net worth by Forbes is $15 million. Now, that's a ton of money for me. I'm good. I'll tap out. Give me $15 million. I'm tapping out. Y'all will only see me here. Y'all won't see no comedy flyers. Y'all will only see me here.
Trying to find a picture of the girl. Okay.
So they got the tapes of him saying he's going to choke her, but we all know, I think that was their way of talking to each other. And she knew this was going to sound crazy. But that's beside the point. I'm going to play some of the people. When she interned at your radio station, she finally told you her father was Craig and called him during the show.
I think that's a separate thing there.
Maybe I guess Craig his daughter interned for me. I don't know.
He's too old.
He too old for that dumb shit, and Black Coalition tried to tell his dumb ass. So this is one person, I guess, who's defending.
To debunk the gay rumors, damage control. He ain't slick.
All right, here we go.
It happens. We ain't letting y'all bring down now another black celebrity no damn more. Now everybody know Unc been knocking the seeds out this whole watermelon for the last 2 years. He been knocking the seeds out of watermelon. All of a sudden now, this $100 million contract come up. Now she wanting to sue. Never. You wasn't suing when you were tooting that ass, or were you? Hell no. Did y'all read the shit? According to her, back in October 2024, he assaulted her. Now she's saying he sexually assaulted her again this year. So that means you went back. He did it once. So that wasn't good enough for you. You gonna go back again? Never. Letting you niggas know right now, you gotta be careful with these hoes out here right now. They trying to get everything they can about her. Unc ain't never made $100 million before. He'd be in the league, but $100 million, Unc looking forward to that goddamn $100 million. And now he gotta wake up to these type of allegations? Never. You see, Unc old school. That nigga had every goddamn text message, every encounter he ever had with her. He had it in the messages. Yeah, and he sent it to the lawyer. Come here. She lying on what?
Well, what? That's his opinion on that. And listen, I just told y'all, I think this is all a setup. I think this is all to run the pocket scam. But how many times somebody got to tell you to get out the game? You want to be in the game. You want to be the young dude. And comedian, and you were told on your own show in a joking way, Monique tried to tell you.
Girl, you don't need no 36-year-old girl. I know. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get your old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Told you. I told you. I told you. You ain't tell me shit.
Hey, everybody was trying to warn him. Everybody was trying to warn him.
Sean said he should have learned from Jonathan Majors messing with them YTs.
Don't nobody want. And listen, hey,
I'm with you, Ash. Though
it sounds like a scam. It don't matter if it's a scam. You too old to be getting caught with a 20-something-year-old scamming you. This is what y'all missing. You wanted to be the big man on campus. You wanted to be that dude. You wanted to mess with somebody like over 30 years younger than you for what?
Because they league. We pick and choose.
He was 19. The girl is, I'm telling you, the girl is 19 when you start messing with her, 19 to 20. What are we doing, Jay? What are we doing? How many people got to go down for stuff like this before you learn a lesson? Your sex tape just leaked to the world, and that almost blew your money. Giving him money admits some sort of guilt. That bitch wouldn't get shit. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Keep that right there. Because a lot of people take it as if you settle, I have an explanation. Well, I don't have an explanation. Somebody gives an explanation. Let me see where it is. Go down here. And this man tries to explain to people like us, me and you, what settling means.
Settlement means, just because it's been so unclear, where people assume when you make a settlement offer, that means that you're automatically guilty or that you've done the underlying action. Actually, it's a math equation, believe it or not. When you have a lawsuit that is pending, you speak to your lawyers and they talk to you about the probability. So if he's being sued for $50 million, stay with me here, Dan, and the lawyer says, Shannon, there's a 10% chance of this happening, of the victory against you, of you losing. 10% of 50 million is $5 million. That means the value of the lawsuit is $5 million. But the legal fees are going to be $8 million, no matter what. If you have no liability or if you're found liable for 50 million, you're going to pay me $8 million. That's a total of $13 million. That's when you go to the other side and you say, I'll give you 10. That doesn't mean I did it. Doesn't mean I didn't do it. It's called a nuisance settlement amount, and it's discovered through a simple math equation based on probability. And that's all it does. So when the 10 million was offered, now people go crazy. Oh my God, how can you be so stupid as to say you didn't do it and then offer 10? That's how. First, we have to talk about what is
sticking. And that, people, listen, I ain't never been in that tax bracket. But if you can, this is why people went at Michael Jackson so hard, because he had a settlement. The worst thing he could have done, people say, it was a settlement. But when you're worth that much money and you just want to get this over with, do you really want to go to court and try and fight this? But that's not an excuse. He's reaping what he's sowing. Hey, I don't think it's guilty. He's doing damage control. Because why? Because you want to run around with these 20-year-olds. Now, I'm not saying this couldn't happen if she was 40 or 50, but you have to be honest with yourself. What do you think she's in this for? You really believe she likes your 56-year-old ass? You really think the sex that you're giving her is that extraordinary? She's in it for a payment. I can't even get mad at her. If you can't see in front of your face the situation that you put yourself in, This game is dirty. You think that girl who's with Bill Belichick right now, who's in his 70s, who's in her 20s, do you think she loves him? He knows what it is. That's why he's made it public. He's sitting there and said, we're dating. We're out. He don't even give a damn about the ridicule. And is it unfair? Yeah, he's getting slammed. He's getting joked about. But he knows the game. You sitting up here playing with these people? Dumb. Just because they're throwing panties at you, you need to step over them. Can you say Mike Tyson settling didn't help Michael Jackson? They won't marry and elevate a black woman, but they'll sleep around and make these whitey women millionaires. That's the real racism. Oh, okay, Asha. Shannon thought it wasn't gonna happen to him. Fucked around and now he finding out. Absolutely. Nope, $8 million. It is. And my character and integrity intact. I'm not giving her $10 million. Okay, and you're gonna play a game. and you're gonna play a game. If you go to court, you're gonna play a game and go to court in America. Okay. Because let me tell you something. Deshaun Watson went in front of 2 grand juries that found that there was not enough evidence to go around.
Innocent, right?
And they still persecuted him. So if you could make this thing go away, I'm not saying that's what I would have done, but I get it.
A lot of people think that way. You just wanted to go away. Then the others said, no, I'm standing on it.
Especially if you tight with your money, you're going like, wait, I got to spend more money? And there's a chance I might
have to spend even more.
There's a 10% chance I might have to give her $50 million. Isn't it an ego stroke when an old man can pull a youngin? Dog, I assume it is. The same with Michael Jordan's wife. They did Mike wrong. I never believe he did any of it. Well, Ash, I think you should be careful because in an interview, you're talking about Michael Jackson. Oh, well, yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, people retracted their statements. People came out and said that they were forced by their parents to lie. But, that's a whole other thing. Miss Clark, it shouldn't be. It's your money that pulled her, not you. And I get it, but and trust me, you're absolutely right. So I'm not sitting up here trying to be like, oh my God, oh, Shannon Sharpe is so bad. I can't believe it's you knew you were in the midst of the dirty ass game. I've been telling you how filthy this shit is.
Oh, she an OnlyFans model too. She's on OnlyFans. She's getting her money.
What are we doing? And then yesterday, Jay, the nail in the coffin. The nail in the coffin. This is when I was like, oh, people covering their ass. This is when you know.
If you have to make a settlement, you make something go away, you're guilty of something.
You don't have to be guilty of something. You just don't feel like going to court and having to prove that you're not guilty of something. But I get what you're saying.
I was for the show, Ash. Stop. I was doing research for the show.
We're doing research for the show.
What are you talking about? I'm just trying to start trouble. Stop. Go ahead. I ain't even zoom in on nothing. See, what are you talking about?
That was responsible journalism right there.
That was. And I scrolled through and I kept it moving.
We ain't playing on music. We ain't do nothing. Now, if he would have played, if he would have showed those pictures and we would have done something like, and we would have stopped talking.
They do a good makeup job, right? Just makeup.
For those listening in their cars, we're showing pictures of the OnlyFans model that Shannon Sharpe was accused of. If you're in your car, you can't see. That's why we got quiet. Now, if we would have done that,
Daryl said, "Dang, she got a little donkey."
Now, if we would have done that and we'd have made Daryl Scott comments, like if we would have done it,
she got big dash.
Been irresponsible. That would have been totally irresponsible.
Oh god.
You ain't hear no.
I'm trying to be focused.
We would be dead serious. We would be dead serious. Oh, let me bring it's his day.
Yep.
My man, the financial rebel, is
He's
in
here.
the building.
He's here.
Good morning.
What up? So
Good morning.
what show you just got on?
I just got here.
Oh, he need to see the pictures?
We're talking about Shannon Sharp. This is the OnlyFans model right here. I just
Hold on.
Yeah, we're just trying to give you
This is what we hitting with.
we'll give you time to look at the OnlyFans.
No, she YT. She is what it is. But yeah, so we were just showing you some of the pictures.
And
wait. Go back. Hold on.
Which one?
Not much to see there.
Not much at all.
No.
No.
So you risk it all for that, huh?
Biscuit.
She mine.
That's what he said. So we were talking about the outrage of people like the black man, this black man. I'm not jumping out the window for Shannon Sharp. I'm just letting you know right now. I'm not. This was Shannon Sharp. This is what he was into. This is the chance you take when you got a $50 million, $100 million contract up for grabs. You got a sex video that already jumped off that didn't have any footage. And now, listen, I'm not saying the man is wrong. I'm saying you're not going to get me to rep him. But somebody said, well, he got to be guilty of something if he settled for, if he made a settlement. And then I had to play this video to explain what a settlement means. And this is this lawyer's reasoning on what a settlement really means right here.
Settlement means, just because it's been so unclear, where people assume when you make a settlement offer, that means that you're automatically guilty or that you've done the underlying action. Actually, it's a math equation, believe it or not. When you have a lawsuit that is pending, you speak to your lawyers and they talk to you about the probability. So if he's being sued for $50 million, stay with me here, Dan, and the lawyer says, Shannon, there's a 10% chance of this happening, of the victory against you, of you losing. 10% of 50 million is $5 million. That means the value of the lawsuit is $5 million. But the legal fees are going to be $8 million, no matter what. If you have no liability or if you're found liable for 50 million, you're going to pay me $8 million. That's a total of $13 million. That's when you go to the other side and you say, I'll give you 10. That doesn't mean I did it. Doesn't mean I didn't do it. It's called a nuisance settlement amount, and it's discovered through a simple math equation based on probability. And that's all it does. So when the 10 million was offered, now people go crazy. Oh my God, how can you be so stupid as to say you didn't do it and then offer 10? That's how. First, we have to.
So allegedly a settlement has been offered of $10 million. Nobody knows what. Your take on it?
Again, it's the same thing he said. A settlement is not necessarily an admission of guilt. I know that's what everybody says. If I didn't do it, I'm not going to pay anything. But we've seen this time and time again. Michael Jackson, many other people have paid settlements because they get sued all the time.
Our president.
Your president. Your president. But again, settle, because the lawyer fees are more expensive than paying these people to go away. So I hear a lot of people saying that. I'm not moved. I'm not moved at all.
So with that being said, I kept saying this yesterday.
Good morning, Mercedes.
I said, listen, y'all, Disney is sitting there. The only reason he hasn't been fired yet is because there's a show with a man named Pat McAfee on there that I watch, that I enjoy, who is pushing the envelope so crazy that they're scared the first time he didn't lose his job because they knew how it was going to be portrayed. You're going to fire him for this, but Pat McAfee is doing this and Pat McAfee is doing that. That's the only reason he got his job after that. Because they knew what the blowback was going to be. They knew what was going to be said.
So LaShawn is saying, assume that Negro is guilty because look at Jay-Z. He stood on his integrity and he fought it. So what is that? She trying to say, what about Hov? He didn't go ahead and just pay just to let it go away.
So also you have to factor in branding. Hov's brand has always been about mystique since the very, very beginning. And this isn't to protect him or say he was innocent or guilty. The man's been retiring since 96. So of course that's what he's going to play up. I'm not saying he did it, didn't do it, but I get why he did it.
I think y'all always tell me something when y'all bring up Jay-Z stood on it. I think there's something real simple, and I hate to use this cliche. There's levels to everything. Shannon Sharp ain't Jay-Z. Shannon Sharp does not have not only the money, but the resources to go, oh no, you're not doing this to me. That's why Jay-Z went on attack mode, because Jay-Z is already planned for the attacks. He already, in some shape, form, or fashion, knew something was coming. And when you make it that easy, he was like, oh, I'm about to blow you out the water. You should have came with something. You better try that on Shannon Sharp, which is what he moved on to. Somebody who don't have the resources. Somebody who don't have the influence. Somebody who don't have the smarts that Jay-Z has.
Shout out to Mike for quoting the great prophet Meek Mill, by the way.
It was a Meek quote.
I said that on the show months ago. He killed me for that.
Well, I'm just saying the influence that the affiliations that Jay-Z has, Shannon Sharp is not even in the same universe. And in this game, the affiliations that you have, the people that you know, the influence that you have, the people that you pay, and the people that you know that you make money for, it's a whole different story. But I also said this shit is going. Disney is not as hypocritical as Disney is, and they are. The fact though, Mike, that's
no, I'm saying that's fact that he's not.
And I kept warning people. I said Disney cannot sit here.
Levels to it all.
And as hypocritical as it will be, Disney is looking at this closely. And I said it yesterday. I said, and I can't be mad at Disney if they let this dude go and take back that contract. So yesterday, the nail in the coffin came because everybody trying to cover their ass. Everybody is trying to even his partner on a TV show said, no, I got to speak out about this.
About where I'm coming from. I'm a bit torn in terms of his response. When his legal team issued out the press release on X yesterday, and they mentioned her name, and they revealed some of those explicit text messages, that was uncomfortable. I spoke to Shannon, not in details, but I spoke to him, and he emphatically proclaims his innocence. According to Mr. Busby, his client emphatically proclaims his guilt. So where does that leave us? I am the executive producer of First Take on ESPN.
Listen closely, y'all. Listen closely.
I recruited Shannon. I went and got him and brought him to ESPN.
Ain't looking good.
But I'm not the boss. Those are other folks. There are layers to this, and there are certain layers even I am not on.
I can't help it.
I can tell you, I also spoke to co-chairman of Disney, the boss, Jimmy Pitaro, who made it very, very clear we are taking this matter very seriously, and we are looking into this very, very closely. And once we gather as many facts as we possibly can, we will go from there.
Ain't looking good for Unc, man.
He said, my black ass can't help him.
Listen here. This is the same dude that gets on the microphone and says, "Can't nobody tell me what to say?" Stephen A. says what he wants to say. He just admitted that ain't the truth. But I want y'all to understand something. In a case, in any other case, he would have done what we did. Well, Kamari, you pointed out how disgusting Tony Busby is, right?
Yes,
you
sir.
pointed out how shady he was. You brought up the Jay-Z situation. Stephen A. ain't bring none of that shit up. Stephen A. said, Mr. Busby. Stephen A.
taking it serious.
Nah, allegedly he's gone already. I don't know that to be a fact. That's just what's going on.
That's what Ash was saying. Did she hear that he got fired?
We don't know that for a fact till it makes the announcement. But that, my friends, when he doesn't bring up, that's why he keeps saying we. He said he ain't the boss. That's curtain.
I'm only the executive producer. I'm not the one signing the checks. I'm just running the show, but this is bigger than me. I went to the big boss and I'm talking to people I need to talk to. I'm trying to fight for my man. That's what I heard him saying. I'm out here fighting for my man. I'm trying to look out, but this thing is bigger than me.
This is bigger than Nino Brown.
Yeah, everybody's saying that they guilty. This person saying that he innocent. But to lose your job over allegation is just crazy. And then TMZ broke down all of the text messages with the choking, and that's how they talk to each other. She was kinky. She said, "I want you to choke me. I want you to do this." And so you looking at just his response, but you're not looking at the whole totality of the circumstances. You gotta look at everything.
Well, you want the totality? This ain't the first time.
Well, it ain't the first time that he had a
This
young
ain't the
girl
first time that Disney has had to deal with a sex scandal with him.
Oh, because of the voicemail? Because of the
yes. This ain't the first time.
You got someone saying you assaulted them. You got someone making claims versus you making a mistake having sex on audio.
You're
on camera.
missing the point, Jay. I have an employee that is literally on the second biggest show on my network that is not making money. The network ain't making money. It's being saved by 2 shows. And you're going to tell me you want me to back this guy again? Again, you want me?
People are so quick to turn your back on people.
No, but Jay, this is not turning. They didn't turn their back the first time.
This is about advertisement dollars, Jay. You know that.
Yeah. So you're not willing to ride out for your people when it's money's involved.
But if he stays, this is a big black man choking a white woman.
No, that's their kinky sex.
No, that's what the audio said. I'm repeating the audio. And so that narrative can never play on major white-owned corporate television or radio or whatever.
Even her requesting it.
Doesn't matter. It's all about advertising.
The first time they swept it under the rug and let him
It's
live.
not the same. You keep saying the first time.
It is exactly the same when it comes to how it affects the network. They don't care about his innocence or guilt. They don't care if it's true or not. They care that they got to defend this.
They care that they're going to lose money on the bottom line.
And they care that they're going to be people who are, and Kamar is absolutely right. They don't care if it's true or not.
It's all about the math. If the math ain't math, and it don't matter.
Where did I leave off at? I saw Action said he had a good time.
Hey, Shanta, welcome.
Guys, thanks for the advice, Mike. I had a good time last night. It was fun. How'd you do? I don't want to know if it's fun. I want to know how you did.
Did you bomb? No.
I'm saying that word. The girl was 19. He was he's 56. So even when the years they met, his comments on having his black baby, he continues to do this and isn't learning. Yeah. Don't feel bad for him. He should go down for this. And guess what?
She did say, "Put your black baby in me." She wanted a black baby. Like, dog, she was talking reckless.
That bar off, wasn't you, Jay?
No, I forgot that. I forgot that part, but I know that it was consensual. That's what it feel like, and it's like, damn, they railroaded my man. Like, it is shady.
He railroaded himself.
Technically, she's an adult. No. Technically, they're grown. It's like, I don't know about losing your career, but like you said, it ain't worth risking at all. It ain't worth risking millions and millions. Say
He
it
takes
again,
from 8 to 80, dumb, cripple, and crazy.
No,
He don't
I'm
care
just
about nothing else.
to
He
lose
goes to
your
work.
job.
He gets the job done.
And that's what he knew. If somebody would have told him, if somebody after that video, if somebody comes out right now behind closed doors, if somebody would have said, Shannon, if somebody comes out right now after this and says you sexually assaulted them, and they put videos and they have text messages, whether they're lying or not, what do you think is going to happen? He'd be like, I think I'm going to get fired.
Y'all know why this happened, right?
No, I don't. Go ahead.
He has too many yes men around him.
Mm.
He ain't got enough people telling him, sit your monkey ass down. You can't do what white folks do.
Shanta said she's adding this to this is not the black women's fight list. Like
No, it's not the black. It's not. It's not.
And I would hate to, and I hate to say, but I'm lying when I say I hate to say. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I hate to say, but I like being right. I'm like Jay Black. I told y'all when Cat Williams was on Club Shay Shay, I said, Shannon, be very careful when you kikiing and watching somebody expose everybody else. And you kikiing, and then you interview more people to expose other people, because it ain't but a matter of time before you become the story and they take you down, because that's how this business works.
It's karma.
And y'all like, he making money. Cool. You better be smart. You better be clean. Your record, your resume better be clean. Disney is looking at this all wrong. They need to turn it into a ride. Call it the chokeout. Action, feeling the fever from being on stage.
Yo, he did his first comedy set, Kamari. He did his first comedy set.
Oh, that's dope. Congratulations.
Yeah.
He feeling the fever. He said, I got more jokes. I got more. Wait a second. I'm just getting started. He's hard-headed. Listen, I in a very low level
Virgo
understand what it's like to have this type of stuff available to you. But I will tell you this. I will tell you, you had the warning signs, homie.
But
Just
that's
like
that's where the men or women around you that tell you, sit your ass down, come into play.
Ain't nobody telling that 56-year-old.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He got too many yes men around him.
When he was walking on the court to fight an NBA player, that was a warning. ESPN overlooked that too. When
that was his dad, not the player, the dad.
He was going to beat up the player's dad.
Daddy.
They overlooked that. They overlooked that nonsense.
What else do you?
Career where it severely impacted by public opinion, yet chose to freak off in these streets with a snow bunny. Umar said what he said.
Dr. Umar said he can come back as long as he pledges not to sleep with snow bunnies anymore.
You got to give it up. Give it up, Shannon. Give up your own
give it up.
You can't have
it's
it.
not much to give up there, y'all.
It ain't worth it. Kamari said it ain't worth it.
I mean, you can look at the body, but when you look at the face, you're like, this is a kid.
It's a
That's
kid.
a kid.
You look close in the eye. Yeah.
She's a kid.
19, 20, whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Snow Bunny's mind control. Monty says, Snow Bunny mind control. Do they only come after straight men? Thunder. I don't know. Monty, do they?
No.
Ask Monty, the resident gay guy.
Resident gay guy. Do
Hey,
they, Monty?
they want to know? Do
No,
they
but
want to
they go after gay people too. If you break out of the mold and you mess with the money, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
And I do
make a donation. Yeah, he's gonna have to. They're gonna put him on timeout, suspend him for a little bit, let him go to rehab. You make him do some pledges and donations and stuff like that.
No, Shannon Sharp is not that important to do all that. He's not that important for ESPN and Disney to do all that.
But that is a way for them to save him, though, right?
You think they're gonna go through all that and go through hoops and fight this type of publicity?
Not for a black man. For a white man.
They didn't do it for white people. The Today Show let Matt Lauer go.
But no, Matt Lauer was Matt Lauer.
They had him, Laura or whatever. They let him go. They didn't. That was the main dude on the Today Show.
Yeah, but he was literally locking the doors though.
He's not worth what he's about to lose.
He's about to lose.
She's a baby. I wish a 50-year-old dude would approach my 19-year-old daughter. We ain't even get to that.
I mean, that's
you played the Nia Long clip last week when her people were saying how she had the old head.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, we played that clip. Well, yeah, mind control is mind control. So Monty said, yeah, they come at everybody.
And there's a few people in the generation who didn't appreciate it. There are a few people who got on here and said, I ain't really messing with Shannon Sharpe like that. There are different opinions that came out. I ain't gonna say everybody is trying to jump out the window.
Shannon Sharpe. First of all, let me just say this, and I don't like to kick a man when he down, but Shannon Sharpe is getting sued for $50 million from an ex-girlfriend who is clearly lying, allegedly, because he a fool, right? Shannon Sharpe is one of the issues that's happening in the black community where are our grown men that want to be grown men? Sharpe is damn near 60 years old, got a podcast where his idea of on the podcast is just to be messy. 60-year-old man. Oh, well, the young women, I guess.
Stop them young ones from opening up. I tell you what, chat, let's put glasses on. Put glasses on him.
I despise a grown man not wanting to be a grown man, because who do the young men got to look up to? This is the first generation ever where the young men and the grown men is the same thing. They don't dress different. They don't listen to the different music. They date the same women. You are 56 years old dating a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old. The girl is obviously, she's saying that he assaulted her. He ain't assaulted her, right? And if you look at it, it's clear as day in the paperwork. She even recorded him. This is this phone conversation.
Anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke out of you when I see you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
Now, in that phone conversation, you can tell that she was clearly baiting him. Because why are you recording him, first of all?
Well, you get the gist that not everybody and people are seeing. I mean, he made a good point. But, he's doing it for likes and views, too. In a way that we're doing, too. Rehab. How the hell they have rehab for dating white women? I don't know, Jay. I don't know. Do they have a rehab where they show pictures and they say no? No.
Yeah, it's Dr. Umar. He got one. A rehab for snow bunnies.
No.
Good morning, TP.
No.
No. I think he gay. Stacey Mitchell still sticking with Shannon Sharpe being gay in her opinion.
Oh Lord.
Shannon Mushmouth sounding ass. Why he thinks somebody young wants him?
Well, she did.
Because he got enough money to pay. That's why.
Facts.
I mean, can we not act like money doesn't sway this thing?
And can we act like he, at 56-year-old, should know this?
He did know that.
Okay, well, he obviously didn't play the game correctly. Or else you would have got that comfortable in saying these things on the phone. You obviously thought you was in a regular relationship where y'all could talk on the phone and you're not going to be recorded. Dog, you're going to be recorded.
That's what you should assume at all times.
Her parents knew. The whitey parents always do and turn a blind eye until the numbers make sense.
Well, so do the black parents too. Let's not forget about R. Kelly.
Yeah, let's not forget about all the parents who escorted and dressed their kids
Yes,
to go meet R. Kelly. Stacey probably like all the stop. I'm not reading that. Remember when what Disney did to Stephen A. Smith? They sat him down and made him tuck tail and apologize for talking against snow bunnies. They didn't make him apologize for talking against the queens. No. And Stephen, in the public face of the digital empire, the self-proclaimed unk, is merely a court gesture. Oh, all right. Well, let's get it.
Shout out to Steve.
Read my comment, Mike. Let me go back to Ash. Which Ash one? Is it that one?
No, that one. He probably like little.
Boy, butt on the side.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that has been a thing throughout history.
I'm not doing it.
I'm just saying that has been a thing throughout history.
But like you said earlier with Bill Belichick, he's 72 and his girl 24. So what's the difference? Where's the outrage?
There's been outrage, people making jokes, but he is an official relationship and put it out in the public. He don't even care how embarrassing it looks. He lets everybody know they are a couple. They hold hands. They went to a college basketball game together. He literally not age-wise, looked like he was the sponsor, like he was the father taking him out. He has admitted this is a relationship, and it's made her admit that it's a relationship. The cure is with making good.
Making good. He got
That cat turned Jonathan Major. She needs her to be bottled her-ish. She couldn't keep it past her.
That's the new sunshine.
Their moms in that R. Kelly BS was disgusting.
And
He really didn't learn from the other time. I don't feel sorry for him at all, or nobody else like him, because they know this happens too often. And it's the game that you playing, but the cockiness and the ego makes you believe that you above all this.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen to me. My little side chick here, she good. She playing her part. She playing her part. She want to get flued out.
Jay.
She want me to put that deposit.
Be easy.
No, I'm speaking for Shannon. That's what he's saying. It didn't happen to him. It sounded like it came from me. Stop that.
By the way, that shirt, that's fire. I need that.
The Black Excellence with the African flag.
I need that.
Lady Q woke up inspired.
I'm working on being y'all biggest customer.
All right.
See, I love the support.
I got some silly ones, and then I got one that's gonna touch everybody's nerve, and y'all gonna jump on me because y'all gonna be all like, "Mike, he just let it go," and that's not why I want to play this. The title of this is "Things Men Can't Do or Say Without Being Labeled." I'm gonna play the clip later. I'm gonna play it later. Kamari, I had to ask you this question. Let's get to the finance real quick. Everybody says don't go into business with your family. Everybody says is the death wish. It doesn't work. But then at the same time, on the flip side, we see other families who have taken the family business and gone generations upon generations upon generations upon generations, who have created incredible wealth and have created models for other families. And people talk about trust and wills and all the other stuff. BQFSB.
Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies never. Where's the clip?
Oh my God. So, and we have a guest coming up. How do you go into business with family and make it work? What are now obviously you can't tell us about personality traits. You can't tell us about all that. But what are like 2 or 3 of the golden rules that you would set, the parameters that you would set for a family business to actually work, for family members to work together?
So I am the product of a family business, so I can definitely talk about this. Because of my father, I am here. He was in business first. Parameters. And I'm assuming these are adults.
Okay.
Everybody's got to want to do it. They have to want to do it, not just do it for the money. Money can be a secondary thing, but they have to want to provide the product and or service. They need to believe in what they're doing. 2, you got to be willing to set your ego aside. The reason families don't make it a lot of times is because there's some kind of hidden factor of jealousy and ego that people don't want to relinquish. But nobody wants to talk about it. I mean, listen, Cain killed Abel, right? Or did Abel kill Cain? Always get it confused.
One of them.
Right, one of them. And that's really the reason why that didn't work. But when you look at the Rockefellers started as a family business. The daddy dispersed all the kids to different spots in Europe. They shared information amongst each other. That's why they were able to do what they did. And then they were able to build things and do things strategically. But then they worked together and they coordinated together. And it wasn't perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Same thing for, I said with the Rothschilds, right? The Rockefellers, same thing. If you look at the Walton family, Sam Walton started Walmart. Walmart is a family, the origins of it was a family-owned business. Sam Walton got money from his father-in-law, got money from his brother. They all worked together, built stores together. It was a family-owned business. Now, generations later, the kids now are the richest people in the world, or some of the richest people in the world. So it can work, but you got to want it to work. It's like a marriage. I tell people all the time, when you go in business, you got a business partner, look at it like a marriage. Marriage doesn't work unless you work it. Same thing with business. You might need to go to therapy with your business partner.
So this is all right. Let me try and give an example, and you tell me if I'm wrong on it, on any of these assumptions. 2 people, 3 people go in. They're family members. One's a good friend. 2 are family members, and one has the credit. They're opening a hair salon. One has the resources. Just put it out there to get a $500,000 business loan. We go in. We open a salon. How are we splitting this profit? Even though one is the hairstylist, that's the person who's doing all the work, the hairstylist. And 2 of them are hairstylists. One's the nail tech one, but they're all going in. How do we go into this where when profit comes in, how are we splitting this? Are we splitting it evenly because everybody is as important? Or is the person that is putting up, who put the loan in their name, is that the person who is the record label who's going to get the biggest piece? Or how do you split that?
You're asking the wrong question. The question should be, how does it work? How can we make this business work? And that goes down to, or comes down to, what's their vision? Do they want it to be just a little mom and pop shop? Do they want it to be major hair salons and major salons across the country? Where do they want it to go? Where do they want to go?
They want the biggest. They don't want a franchise. They want to have one salon that they want to open and be open for 20 years and be a place of profit. They have the ultimate area where they've already placed it in, and they're going to stay there.
Okay, so they want a glorified job. I mean, because that's what we're talking about. So I would say, before we talk about splitting money,
Why do you have to talk down on them for
that's
that?
not talking down.
But why did you say glorified job?
Because that's what it is. Listen, I got a glorified job.
But if you're working for a glorified job,
I'm calling it what it is.
Yeah, but I'm not going to compare what I'm about to do after here. What I'm about to do, that's a job. But if I'm doing something that's my passion and I'm working for myself, I wouldn't call that a glorified job. I would call that's the business I'm opening.
But you didn't say it was your passion. But was it? And I heard your question. We'll get back to that. But I want to be clear on this. I'm not putting it down. I have a glorified job right now because I'm still in the phase where I'm building systems, processes, putting people in place. I still have to do all the work. I still have to deal with clients. Matter of fact, yesterday, I issued a refund to a client who was bitching at me because my timing wasn't up to their standard. But I did everything right. But I had to deal with that. That's work.
Okay.
That's work. That's a glorified job. But everybody's like, Kamari, you're the boss. The boss title, to me, is so overrated. It's crazy. So again, when I say that, it's no slight. I'm just giving the reality. You got to clock in. You got to do the work. You got to deal with all the, excuse my language, bullshit that comes with dealing with clients, because everybody believes the client is always right, which is not true, but that's what they believe. So again, the splits will be based upon, I would say, the person that's taking the risk. You got to make sure they're getting compensated, whether it's through cash flow first or whether they want to get big payout later on. But you want to address that person gets made whole. And then you want to make sure the person who's actually doing the work, actually creating the profits, seeing the clients, creating the cash flow and the revenue, have them get paid. Figure out what they need to get paid. What do they need? Bare bones to live their life. Is it $20 an hour? Is it $20,000 a month? You got to figure all that out.
I'll say entrepreneurship is not for the thing that heart is. It is hard work. 32 years. Okay.
Yep.
It is hard work. All right.
Broke it down.
No question.
I was hoping y'all go at it. I was waiting.
I still, because no matter what you do, even if it was a franchise, you're gonna clock in. Even if you franchise 5 of them, you're clocking in, and the customer is still right, and you're still gonna have responsibilities, and you're still gonna have to feed the the attitude of customer service. Like, so but I didn't want to get stuck on that because I wanted him to explain it.
No, but that's part of it. I mean, we need to have bigger discussions, but I know we don't have time for that in the morning, and that's not super fun.
No, it can be. We just got to get it. No, it can be super fun. It can be super fun. Because at the end of the day, it's a job, but it's a job that you're working for yourself. That was what the goal was.
Right, but to be like you said with the franchise model, right? The franchise model a lot of times has a lot of systems and processes in place. They're already looking at management. The person that's just starting a salon, from the start, a lot of times isn't thinking about that. A lot of times, listen, I'll be totally honest, we use hair, right? Most hairdressers are breaking the law. They're doing booth rent, which is typically against the law everywhere in the 50 states.
Well, we have a vision. We got a hair salon owner. If you would like to make a comment, because I know he listens a lot, and his wife actually commented earlier. Beth, that would be it. That's an interest. Let me write that down. Let me write that down. Salon. All right. So I think that's something. And last question on that. When you say the splits, so obviously when the splits happen, there's got to be a contract that stated that everybody agrees to these splits, right? We can't we can't be like, yeah, you're gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, you're gonna get this, and then just ride on a verbal commitment.
It's funny. I was listening to some Warren Buffett said the other day. Some of the most powerful business relationships start with a handshake and word in the mouth. Excuse me. Your word. Contracts are cool, but if you're dealing with an asshole person, a contract don't mean shit. But yes, you should get a contract. All your lawyers are going to tell you to do a contract. But the most famous, the most popular business people that really are getting it, it starts with agreement on your word and dealing with people who are people standing on their word. So you got to look at your person's character, your partner's character. You got to see, do y'all have similar values? Like when I say it's like a marriage, I mean that. You shouldn't do business with somebody you don't have similar value systems. Same thing if you get married. You shouldn't date with or marry somebody who doesn't have a similar value system as you. So just some things to think about.
Wow. And that I'm glad you said that, because I said that to somebody who had asked me advice. I said, do you understand that you're going to spend more time with this business partner than you are with any marriage that you're ever going to be in? You're going to have more conversations. You're going to have more dialogue with this person than you actually do with your significant other. I don't care how much you and your significant other are going to talk. You're going to be 10 to 12 hours a day. Y'all going to be talking about business. Y'all going to be talking about personal stuff. Y'all going to be laughing. Y'all going to be mad. Y'all going to go through the ups and downs of seeing each other every single day. That's why me and Jay Black only talk twice a month. This is why. This is exactly why.
Monty!
This is exactly why. Nigga, please.
You stupid.
We have mastered it. All right, so let me bring my guest up, because we had him on last week. He was talking a lot about what went on with former owner of BET, Stephen Hill. Got into discussion. Well, he got into discussion with Amani that went back and forth. We talked, but we never got to the stories and the truth that went behind the legendary Chappelle show, which he was on. So he was nice enough to be like, I messed up the first time and screwed up the timing. D Brad, I don't know which one. What's good, homie? What's good with you?
Good morning. Tied in the mud. But that was a good conversation. My man had my blind is the bad. I cannot see what your name is, brother, but he was right. I had a business. I tried to start a production company with a cat that I was cool with in high school, but hadn't seen each other other than like 20 years. And I ain't know life put his foot up his behind. That was the absolute worst experience I ever had with another human being. He's 100% correct. That's like a marriage. It was like, yeah.
All right, I gotta ask.
On point with that one, bro.
Give us one thing. Give us one thing that made it really bad.
Because what you said in the beginning, vision wasn't the same. So, like in television, in the entertainment industry, you run into a lot of people that have low self-esteem, that proof a worth that they have. For me, I was trying to build a company. He was trying to get on and be seen and say, hey, look,
is that my connection? Or is that his connection?
No, this is his internet.
Your internet, you're breaking up a little bit.
Am I?
Yeah.
All
right, we gotta take him off, bring him back.
Yeah.
He was dropping some gems though.
Once he hit that link again. I mean, it's tough when you start a business. It's weird because I don't know. Me and Jay never considered this a business, but I think next year it's gonna be a business. I think not next year, by September, it's gonna be a business, and they're gonna be things that I really truly believe that this show is going to take off, and we all gonna have to work out things because there's gonna be a lot of hours that we're gonna have to put into this. Even the hours that we put in just to waking up in the morning, and then living the life, because the goal is to make this the goal is to make this the salary. What'd you say, Jay?
I said to get paid. Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
We all work to get money.
And I didn't know how much influence this show had until I was checking clips, and I was down the TikTok rabbit hole, and you will never, y'all. The thing that I love about this show is that everybody watching, you've been around for a while. So you know when you see something like, yo, that's something we hit on the show. And normally it's just a topic. I didn't know it would get this deep. And Jay, you're going to laugh when you see this right here. This gentleman did a whole bit on something that is like one of our standards right here. Just watch him do this. Let's go.
Let me see.
Women live by the rule of Jill Scott, which is,
if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do.
and this is important because on this show, this lady was talking about how she's always weirdly attracted to her personal trainers, whether they're attractive to her or not, and listen to the reason why.
I had a personal trainer a couple times in my life, and it doesn't matter what they look like. They can be not attractive at all. But I find myself just getting a bit... It's something about just being told... What are you trying to say? Just like being told what to do with your body. Okay.
So if you were one of those dudes who's always on the fence about something, afraid to make a mistake, afraid to be direct, you're going to be left behind the dude who's not scared to be upfront, not scared to be direct, and fall on his face, but then fix it. Don't make it difficult. Lay out what you want up front. If what you lay out isn't accepted or reciprocated, move on. Fella.
So I'm curious. Women, do y'all want us to tell y'all what to do? Do y'all really want us to lead? Do y'all want us to lead? Do y'all want us to take it there? Is that this woman says she's attracted to trainers that she ain't even attracted to because she's being told what to do. And Jill did say, Jilly from Philly, I'll get to it. And then I was like, well, maybe this man just explained.
Say it like this: if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do.
All right, we can't play Jill no more, man. That Jill's my weak spot.
Maybe I got clarity. Maybe the clarity is you just want me to lead the situation.
And said hook her up with Shannon Sharp ASAP, that white lady. She got jokes.
This is why I have a woman personal trainer. Wait a second. Wait, because I know Jay all for that. I know Jay because there's a lot of men who don't want their woman with a male personal trainer. And the first thing they tell us is that we're insecure.
Well, that was before the advent of studs.
Yeah. Axmar, you have to have similar values, but put in work and learn. But my question to the ladies before we bring our guest in, I want y'all to, yes, I want a leader. Miss Clark said she wants to be told what to do.
She wants to be led.
And Stacey Mitchell said, I need my husband to tell me what to do.
And she put it in caps.
That is interesting. I want to know, do y'all say this to each other when y'all having your drinks and y'all out at the little spot and y'all having your little brunch and y'all doing the bottomless mimosas? Do y'all say, I just want him to tell me what, because I find it hard to believe that's what y'all
Yeah, right. Because they independent. They so strong. They I don't need no Negro to do this and this and that.
Tell me what you want, daddy. Tell me what
But
you
now,
want, daddy.
But now they saying the reverse. I said, I like a man to take care of business. That he can lead. He can tell me what to do.
When did this happen? When did this happen?
You can tell me what to do. You can tell me what to do.
Where was I?
This
makes no logical sense. This makes y'all.
Here's
Yes,
the
I
thing,
feel
though.
like
Logic, and I'm a logical guy, but logic, you can't use logic in a non-logical situations. You can't use logic a lot of times in emotional situations. It won't work.
Look, LaShawn. See, this is the bullshit. This is the bullshit right here. Look, this is the bullshit. We want you to lead and make some of the decisions. What?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to watch the females too. Well,
sure.
yeah, but I'm just trying to figure out what do y'all want? I'm out here in these streets, single. He should lead respectfully. She put the respectfully.
K-Day up.
Oh, K-Day. Okay, K-Day. We
Never know where
definitely
she gonna go.
appreciate and want a man who leads. If not, we become dominant and the relationship is unbalanced. Where is this, Jay? I'm not bugging right now.
I know. This is a complete role reverse. They always usually go the other direction. You're in the twilight zone. Facts.
We had no, this is what I like. This is when you hit us. We have to be strong. I call my hubby daddy. Okay, weird, but go ahead, y'all rock with that. Weird, but go ahead.
Why is that weird?
I don't need to be called daddy. I don't need to be called daddy. I don't even want that daddy thing. No. But
Clearly you didn't watch the Pimp Chronicles.
No, I definitely didn't. Because I'm not relating to anything there. This is confusing. Thunder is absolutely confusing.
It's very confusing.
Turn your brain off, Thunder. That's
It's
all.
absolutely confused. It's made
Turn your brain off.
You have to be qualified to do so, though. Oh, now qualifications. So what qualifications does it matter how much money I make? Is it how smart I am? Is it my sparkling personality? We're independent because we had to. We had to be. Not because we necessarily wanted to be. Absolutely want a man to lead. Isn't that what men do? Asha, I don't know. As crazy as I am, I do want my man. Man, listen, what's today's date? I need all these comments. Wait a second.
You need to remember this.
Today is April 24th. It's a Thursday at 19 minutes after 8. I need to remember. I'm writing this shit down. Next argument, I'm writing this shit down. Next debate,
So the next question should be, Mike, are women okay with being submissive?
A real leader knows how to delegate.
Right, do women want to be submissive? Y'all heard the man. There is too many things more attractive. There is not too many things more attractive than a self-assured man. So him leading and making a decision feels that. Okay. Yeah. All right.
This is amazing.
That's amazing because the pushback I've got my entire life from y'all mother.
All right. I think D-Brad is back.
D-Brad is here. D-Brad. I'm glad you came in, D-Brad, because I'm about to get in a bad mood. These people are full of shit right now. They all full of shit. They all. D-Brad is in the building.
Yeah, that's all, Cap. I have a beautiful one at home. And yeah, they do. They do want you to leave. No, they do. They want a woman get into. I call it the Allen Iverson assist. It's I'm driving to the lane. Oh my gosh, can't get a shot. Here, take the ball, shoot. That's what they mean by lead. I'm driving to the lane. I'm triple team. Yo, here go the ball. There you go. Why'd you miss the shot? It's like, dog, I ain't shot the whole game. Now you're gonna give it to me? It's one of them things. But I think the question too is like, I ain't shot the whole game. All of a sudden now you triple team, you want to throw the ball out to me. And just talking about why ain't you make the wide open shot? Because I ain't shot the whole game. But I do think the other question that could be asked is when people talk this leadership, do you know how to follow? A lot of people say that, but then they don't know how to follow. And if you have a leader, will you even recognize that this is a leader, or is it a leader when it's convenient for you? So those are questions I would be asking.
Hold on, D-Brad. You just said that, and we got to play this drop when you how to lead. Do you know how to follow? The question is, do you know how to? You want me to lead, but do you know how to follow?
But the saying is, the best leaders are the best followers. Because if you're a leader, you have to know when to turn it on and turn it off. Because you're not always going to have the best idea or make the best decisions. But leading is doing what's best for whoever you're stewarding at that time.
I'm gonna tell you right now. When
Right on. All right,
we're gonna get to real quick, and then I'm going right to the Chappelle stories. When D said, "I ain't shot the ball all game, but now you triple team." In other words, everything you said that we should do failed, and now you want me to fix it all. Now all your budget and all that stuff failed. The way you decided we were gonna run this financially failed. So now you're gonna come to Michael Sean and be like, "How we gonna fix this?" I ain't break it.
But I will say this too. The one thing I will say, all the things you brought up, most women don't fail at that. If they fail financially, it's probably because of the guy. Most women I know.
Shit.
Financially, the things you name are really good at that. Like with my girlfriend, I wouldn't have a problem with her leading the way and doing what she does at all. It's just certain situations that we would get into that I know for a fact that I'd be like, all right, you're gonna have to step to the side and let me do it. But she's like mine, she's really good with finances. That's the one place she could take my whole paycheck and say, this is what you need to do. And I would follow her on that.
Well, God bless you. God has blessed you, and you cherish that woman. Because I've sat from afar.
I earned that, brother. Look, my girlfriend to tell you, I say that we earned that, yo. Like I always say that the male can be the prize. The woman's the prize to the dude that just wants to hit and run. But if a man decides that he wants to make it a relationship, whatever he gets, he's earned that. I earned every bit of this.
Well, however you got to it, Mr. D. Brad, I ain't gonna argue how you got to it, Mom. However you got to it, appreciate it and appreciate your hard work.
Sure.
Because I don't stood from a distance. I don't stood from a distance like a lifeguard and said that is a bad idea. I have sat from a distance and been like, I'm just gonna give you a little warning. All right, so D, the whole thing about bringing you back, we had a long talk on the phone too. It was interesting. We got to do a sports podcast. You worked on the Chappelle show. What was your job on the Chappelle show? What was your actual title, if there was? Because you could have worked on there and not had an actual title. You know, things happen in the business.
No, I had an actual title. I was set production assistant. I did what's it called? Video playback, which put me in a lot of interesting positions that I saw a lot. And I was also his stand-in. So the second half of the season of Chappelle Show season 1, it was called the D. Brad rehearsals because the director found out that I was an actor, and I would do all his scenes before he would do them. Like I would have to do the script and everything. Yeah.
Wow, that's dope. So Dave Chappelle legendary show, the Chappelle Show. When I remember being on Hot 97 when it was going on. Well, I was not on Hot 97 when it started, but I wound up being on Hot 97 when everything collapsed. And you know, he says it himself that their job was to make him look crazy. And they told him at a meeting, this is Dave Chappelle, I'm paraphrasing, but I remember him saying it on his stand-up. He said, by the time you get off the plane, or the interview, by the time you get off the plane, because he wanted either more money or didn't agree to the thing, by the time you get off the plane, the world's going to think you're crazy. And that's exactly what happened. He was, you know, the trip to Africa, there were a bunch of alleged stories. What did you see go on, and what was Dave Chappelle fighting against while this show was ongoing and being taped?
Well, again, first, real quick, I want to preface it by saying the perspective I had, I was not, I think I said it last show, I didn't always want to work in the entertainment industry. I was basically a dude that just was given a cherry on top in life. And I just kind of, even Chappelle's show, I walked into it. I was spending the night at one of my homegirl spots, and she met some dude at the club, brought the dude back from the club, and they did whatever they did because she had a big spot. The homie wakes me up like 5 in the morning, like, yo, shorty told me you want to think about working in movies and videos. Yo, I got this video I'm doing, but, you know, I kind of want to stay. And and then he said it was a video. So I was like, all right. And I went.
Story is wild.
Yeah, no, it's a true story. Nothing I'm telling you was true, but it's exactly what happened. Nothing I'm telling you was true, but it's exactly what happened. So I showed up, thinking it's a video. I see Dave Chappelle, and I only remembered him from when I was in college. And he said it was some show. And they liked me, and I stayed on for the rest of the season. That's how I got on that show. There was nothing scientific behind it. And so as his video playback at set PA, you're doing lockdowns, you're making sure when you're outside that people aren't coming on the set, you're doing all the dirty work, you're driving cube trucks, all that crazy crap. Even how I got on his video playback, I was just happening to be walking past the director, and the PA that did it went to the bathroom, and the director at the time was Bobcat Goldthwait. Y'all remember that comedian?
Yeah, I remember Bob. I didn't even know Bob was a director.
He was that's out for anybody that's on Chappelle's show that might want to act like I'm capping. They're gonna be like, okay, he just named the director. Bobcat Goldthwait. He turned around, and as I'm walking by, he goes, "Where's?" And he doesn't talk how he does his skits, by the way. He was like, "Where's my PA?" And then he looked at me. He said, "You a PA?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Come in, stay here for the rest of the season, don't move." And I was like, "All right." I'm like, "What do I do?" He said, "Dave likes to watch himself, so just press record, pause, rewind, play." I said, "All right." And so for the rest of the season, that was my job. I just sat there. So it would be Bobcat Goldthwait, me, the Comedy Central executives, and then the Marlboro production executives, because the owner's name is Nancy Marlboro, who brought Dave's show to Comedy Central. And the reason why I know her is because for some odd reason, she would always let me come in and fake pitch a sitcom I had. Every week I would picture the same show, and she would tell me no, but she would allow me in her office, which was really, but whatever. So she was cool. I was cool with her. So I was standing right there a lot of times when I saw Dave going what he was going through. And he wasn't the first person to say that to make you sound crazy. I was. There's a gentleman named Ghostface Panda on TikTok that found my lecture about Chappelle's show before he said that on Oprah. And he put the two together. And I said, yeah, they were trying to make him feel like he was crazy. But and I'm an old school conspiracy theorist, like 9/11 conspiracy theorist. And I can say that from my perspective, there may have been, some Illuminati backdoor meetings, but from what I saw, they just punked him on his own block. Like they used to talk to him like in a very demeaning way. And I think me being there actually made it more difficult for him, because here you are in this position that you're in, and you have all these white folks talking to you in a demeaning way. And one of them was so comfortable with talking to Dave that way that he would actually look at me like, what's going on with this guy? Like literally in mid-sentence, he's talking to Dave and then talking about Dave about the money. Dave, the show is going well. We're making a lot of money. Like, what is your problem? And they would the dude would look at me and just like shrug his shoulders right in Dave's face. So I would suspect that would make you feel worse. Dave's issue, Dave was going through, his wife was having a rough pregnancy. So they was going through that. I have photos of him and his wife and children when they were young. I just never show them, because for what? He allowed me to take them, right? So I thought, that's enough of a privilege than to sit there and show the whole world. But she was going through a rough pregnancy. They were concerned about the money and the ratings. In the beginning of the show, it was one big family. Then as the show made money and the ratings and all that, then it was like, hey, Mr. Chappelle, can you come to set? And they would just talk to Dave. It was about the money. I remember being there, and one of the experiences that stayed in my mind, Dave was frustrated because everyone was laughing at everything. And he came back, and once again, his ex like, Dave, what's the problem? He's like, man, I don't know what's funny anymore. Like everybody's laughing at everything that I do, and everything can't be funny. And so the execs are going, Dave, you're all right. We're laughing because you are funny. But an aside to that is, I saw his point, because when I would do his rehearsals, I'm not a comedian. I come from the Negro Ensemble Company where I do drama, but I can bring levity to a character. They would laugh at me. And the only reference I would have is like Martin Lawrence is my quote unquote Richard Pryor, if that makes any sense to anybody. That's like my Richard Pryor. So I would just kind of do Martin things without being overly a buffoon, and they would laugh at me too. So I got it. And so that's when execs like, you're an actor. And I was like, nah, I'm just doing what I do. So I got Dave's frustration because everything he did, the show was funny. Like 85% of the funny stuff y'all never saw. It never hit the light. It never saw the light of day.
All right, real quick, right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I get what Dave's saying. I don't get what you're saying. But when somebody, like, I'm trying to play both sides of the field. Could it been that the writing was that funny and that things were working?
That's what I say. Yeah, because you should have been laughing at me. And they would laugh at me a different way than they would laugh at Dave.
Right.
Because it was Dave, it was Neil Brennan. Most of the racist skits, the white guy Neil wrote. Like if it was racist, Neil wrote it. And so our rapport was, we was kind of like Seinfeld and Newman. And I would see him, but like he would see me, he'd be like D. Brad. I would see him, I would be like Neil. Like one time I had to drive him to set. It was an hour-long ride. It was the quietest ride ever. Because I'm straight. I mean, you know, when I was back, we was back in college. I'm straight Pan-African. I'm coming from that mindset. So I'm looking at dude like, you wrote this? What's really on your mind? So we did not have a rapport at all. Me and Neil. I was cool with Charlie. Charlie would give me a lot of advice. But Dave and I never hung out either. He would just give me words of wisdom. So going back to that day, he was frustrated because he said everyone's laughing at everything. I can't tell what's funny or not. They're talking to him about the money, and Dave is saying to them, that's all y'all talk about is money. He says it's kind of hard to be funny, but at the same time, have to be focused on making money. It doesn't really work. And they brushed him off. And I remember that day, he literally turned around with his head down. And because I was looking at the dude like, yo, son, you can keep letting them talk to you like this? Like, in my mind, at some point, you have to stand up for yourself. And he never would stand up for himself. They was son. If Dave might would try to deny it, then I'm going to tell y'all that between the two of us, one of us is lying. I just know what I saw. This isn't rumor. I'm standing right there watching it happen in real time. And so this particular time, Dave kind of stood there. So I had never really had a convo with him. So I was like, yo, Dave. And he was like, what's up, man? I said, listen, yo, you don't know me at all, but I'm a hater by nature. I can look at somebody easily and not laugh at what they do and find it not funny. I said, so I got an idea. So he looked at me. He was like, yeah, what's up? I said, so when you go on the set, when you do what you do, look back here at me. I said, if I'm laughing, yeah, it was funny. But if I'm like this, that means that was that shit. So he looked at me for a second. He was like, He said, you think it'll work? I said, it's on you. It's on you. This is what I'm offering. He was like, all right, and what's your name? I said, Dave. He said, Dave. I'm Dave. Good to meet you, Dave. We're going to see if this works. And he rolled off set. So for the rest of the season, when we were on set, not location, but on the set, he would do his skit. He would look at me. If I'm laughing, he'd go, let's do it again one more time. If he looked at me and I was giving him the stone face, like, he would go, let's keep that. So he would do his skits. He would come off set and ask me, did I know why he would do certain things? He explained to me about how censoring works, how he does all the wildest shit he can do. So therefore, it's their job to censor him. So by the time they finished censoring him, he said, I got what I wanted in the first place. And I'm like, okay. So he was just schooling me and all the time, but we didn't hang out. He wasn't a funny dude. But when it came to the show, he would pull me up and give me tidbits. And he knew I wasn't an Ashy Larry type character because he heard about me through his the casting director, because the casting director happened to see me in a play and told him, like, hey, this guy can act. But he told me at one time, the same day he told me that, I realized he was telling me he was leaving the show. He saw me in craft services one time. I was by myself and he walked up to me and he was like, hey man, I hear you trying to do a sitcom. And I said, yeah. So he started giving me all this advice. And then the last things he was saying to me, he said, I just want to tell you one last thing. I said, what's up? And he said, never compromise yourself. He said, I don't care what he starts pointing at they. He said, I don't care what they tell you. I don't care how much money they tell you that you're making. He said, never compromise yourself and your vision, even if that means you have to walk away from something that you love. And when he said it, he pointed me in the chest. And he made sure I looked him in the eyes when he said it. But he didn't know my BET story at the time because I never told anybody. Actually, I was homeless on Chappelle's show. That's where I lived. That was going through a rough. Yeah, I was homeless. I just never told him and Charlie. I would work 16-hour days and get dropped off at a homegirl spot, crash for 2 hours, get back to set. But you got breakfast, lunch, and dinner on set. You got showers on set. So I just never told him that for that 6-month time I was homeless. I was crashing on the sofas of my actors' friends, like Darren Henson used to let me crash at the spot. So I was homeless in the mug during that time. So, yeah. But going back to Dave, that's what he would tell me. And I watched it and I just saw a lot of pressure. I think that was the science of bringing Charlie on board. Part of it. He had someone to stand up for him because Charlie wasn't going to play that. Charlie did not play with them execs. Charlie would be like, what the fuck you say to me, man? Slap the taste out your mouth, man. Make you pick it up off the ground, put it back in your mouth, man, and slap it right back out your mouth, man. Who you think you're talking to? That's what Charlie would have said to him. Charlie used to call me Youngblood. What's up, Youngblood? Yeah, man, you see this thing right here, Dave got. He got the thing my brother got, man. That Eddie Murphy thing, man. That's what Charlie was a good dude, man. That was my guy.
You know
that was my guy.
you know what's crazy, D? Because you're not a stand-up comedian. When you said he looks at you and you give him the stone face, that means it's really funny. I think that's so ironic because I don't even know if you know, as a comedian's mind, the funnier shit is to me, I don't laugh.
Right.
Like when something is astronomically funny, I just sit to myself and go, that's funny. That's all I don't like. I laugh here because I have to do the reverse. I have to show you that I think something's funny. But if I'm watching somebody, if I'm not laughing, chances are I think you're brilliant because I'm really enjoying it and taking it in. The laughter is a distraction to me. I want to hear what you're going to say next, which is
that's
crazy.
interesting.
Which is, I do that all the time. I did it with Dave, watching him at comedy clubs. I used to sit in the back and I would sit there and go like, this motherfucker is different than us. Like he's willing to talk about things that from a different point of view and subjects that, and it opened my mind. I was like 24 when I first saw him. And I was like, wow, you don't have to fit in. You can really tell the stuff that you think is funny and not have to just fit in. My question is, where was there any diabolical plan against him? What? Because I mean, I will never understand why a person with a show that did the numbers historically for Comedy Central, why wouldn't they just listen to him? Because if it was about the money, what he's doing is making you the money. So why wouldn't you let him feel as comfortable as possible? Like, was there just like, what's the plan? Let's let this show run for a little while. We'll make the money on the back end. We won't have to pay him. I don't know. I'm trying to understand. Why would they want this to fail?
Well, first, one point I want to get to, the first thing you said about your comedy and not laughing, I think that's actually brilliant on your part, but no, that wasn't for me. I'm just a hater. I can be a hater. No, I can literally just sit there and be like, so it wasn't it wasn't that deep. I could be a hater. But the second one, understand, I'm just a PA, bro. I'm not involved in them talks. All I know is what I'm seeing. And then, but what I can say from my experience, like right now, I work for a corporation that decided to start an after-school program. And I don't know how much they thought the program was going to succeed. And the more the program succeeds, the more I'm treated as if I'm not doing my job. We've all been there. Well, like, go back and look at In Living Color. The Fox execs took that from the Wayans.
Yep.
Once you're making, say that again.
No, I was agreeing with you. It happens all the time.
Yeah, so that was part of the game with Dave. It was, again, I remember when I first got there was already maybe 3 shows in the can, and it was a family. We was all chilling. We'd all chill together and laugh and whatever. But then when it started making money, all of a sudden the execs show up. The game is different. Everything to them is about the money, and they want to keep that money that they're making. You know, the entertainment industry is old. It's all recycled money. Ain't nothing new.
Right.
So at that point now, and then especially when it's unexpected, when it's something you give them unexpected, like with me with BET, when I co-created Spring Bling, they didn't think it was going to make money. Then when that show made money, they stiff on me. I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? It's BET show now. And so it happens. And I just think that Dave is an artist. And I think artists are probably some of the most easy people to mentally break and manipulate. And that's what it was. That's what I watched him time after time. You saw the mental breakdown. You saw the dude just struggling with it. You saw him wanting to be an artist, but trying to balance out the fame, the money. Then he got his home life. Then he has everything that comes with that. Then you come to work every day and you got these folks talking to you like you're not doing what you're doing, like you're not who you are. And then what makes it even worse, they're talking to you like that in front of another black dude who's the lowest man on the totem pole. So you got to walk past me every day knowing that I heard everything they said to your black behind. So even that little bit can push you over the edge. So just everything they was doing, so for me, from what I saw, they didn't need to be an Illuminati thing going on. They didn't need to have any backdoor back table meetings. It was like, nah, they was pressing this dude so much, and Dave wasn't built like that. That's why, if that's not a clone from Dave Chappelle, I always said he got bigger because mentally in his head, he's like, yo, that's a manifestation of him feeling like he was being picked on. So I'm gonna get bigger, right? Physically and mentally, it's gonna make me feel that I'm not gonna take this anymore. That's why the Dave Chappelle we hear sounds a little bit different, because it's like, yo, I'm not gonna take that anymore. I'm never again gonna let someone talk to me that way. I'm never again. So that's what I see from it. But I didn't see it a whole lot of Illuminati stuff. I just saw Dave got punked. They talked to Dave like he was a sucker all the time. I ain't get it.
And I mean, and that makes perfect sense, because Dave, I mean, it what you said about being on the show makes perfect sense. It just always bugged us out as comedians because we knew how fearless he was on stage. But then we got to remember he's in a different kingdom now. He's in a different wildlife. So
totally different. That ain't his world. You don't. You know the crazy part is, I was like the Forrest Gump of the industry. I somehow used to end up in like Saturday Night Live exec offices, but I was rambunctious, so I would roll up on the joint. I was always known as the rambunctious kid. Like, whoever this black dude is, I rolled up on Woody Allen sets. We all know he don't hire black folks, and I was like, yo, I need a job up here. And I ended up doing something with him. It was crazy. But one thing I will say, some of what we get, especially as people of color in TV and film, is because folks are scared. Because as a PA, I've went to executive many times and said something that I thought was completely off that they were doing, and the exec would look at me and change it. Like, really? I'm like, nah, ain't nobody black walking around with a big boom box to their ear no more. This is 2000 or something. I remember being on the show and they had a kid do his cast like that, and I couldn't believe the black producers let it ride. Even I'll give you another one. SNL. I ended up knowing this woman named Barbara, sister. Her husband worked at BET, ran it, somehow ended up by the exec office. She saw me, she called me, we're talking. Do you know that SNL, the execs did not know that Tracy Morgan played Hustle Man on Martin?
Wow, that's wild.
They didn't know that. And this is facts. This is facts. I'm in the office talking to her, and somehow Tracy comes up, and I start mimicking Hustle Man, like, come here, Chief. You know what I mean? If you want it, I got it. If you need it, let me get it. And so me and her are laughing, and then one of the white execs was like, who's that? And I was like, that's Tracy Morgan. They was like, really? I was like, well, I said, yeah, Tracy was on. I said, that's Hustle Man. And they was like, Hustle Man. I said, I'm Martin. Then the other white execs turned around, was like, you mean the Martin that we banned? I said, yeah, Martin. And they was like, Tracy was on his show. I said, Tracy was Hustle Man for years. I said, y'all didn't know that? They was like, no, we found Tracy at a comedy club. So I looked at homegirl. I said, you never told them that Tracy was on? And later on, she told me, like, I don't really say too much. I'm like, yo, y'all black folks in these positions are bugging. And so and then the cool white producer turned around and was like, yeah, and he does things on BET. And they was like, what's BET? And they was like, the black TV station. Then the other exec said, there's a black network? I was like, yo. So a lot of it is they don't pay black folks no attention. And I'm looking at homegirl like, you're in this. I'm like, you're in this office every day, and they really believe that they discovered Tracy Morgan at the comedy club. Blew my mind.
That's why execs always mess shit up, because they're not a part of the culture, right? They're outside looking in, and they're only looking to rape it. They're not looking to be a part of it. That's why they miss out on stuff like that.
So, DJ, Ash one, would you consider producing and bringing a show to YouTube or something like that on a website?
Man, that's a lot of work, yo. Like, again, it would have to be something that would catch my attention, like if it was comedy or something fun to do. But I mean, the problem for me was I did everything in about 2.5 years span. Like, I was like a comic, and I know what it's like to see my name in the bright lights. I know what it's like to turn on the television and someone see producer. I know what it's like to look at talent and go, every talent I name, if I bring up Cameron, he can come in here right now, I couldn't deny anything. So I know what all those things, like I know what it's like for Oprah Winfrey to shake my hand and go, wow, good job. I know what it's so, a lot of the things you want to do, I even made the money. So for me, it's almost like, dang, I don't even have any goal in that industry. I know it's like to shake things up by running my mouth. So for me, it would have to be something that was really fun for me to do. So I don't know if that's the proper answer.
And
But you reach
everything.
out to me on TikTok, dbrad70, DBRAD70. You can reach
And
out
that,
to me there, you know.
and that's how I found you. That's exactly how I found you, even though I knew you. But I was like, damn, this dude's from Willenboro. But Kamara, you said a good thing the execs don't know. And I think that's right. And D-Brad, I think you're right. But I also don't want to give these execs excuses, because when they do know, there's a certain picture they want to paint that they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
So when they do know, they want to make sure there's a box like we are in right now, that there's a box they want to keep us in, because they know the power and influence of a positive message. And I'm not saying positive as in preaching. I'm saying positive as in making somebody look a certain way. That it's the Cosby effect. We can't deny that watching people wearing sweatshirts from HBCUs, not defending Cosby, don't want to get into the Cosby thing, didn't affect enrollment in college by watching people, a family actually say, yeah, it's normal. My kids are going to college. It's assumed my kids are going to college. We're going to show you how my kids go to college. We're going to, and we're not going to make it no, this the good times. We're not going to make it a good times episode where there's a celebration and a big party. Oh my God, he done made it to no. The Cosby's made it look like this is what's expected.
It's the standard.
This is the standard. And execs got that off, but see how we've never had that again. And they made sure they can't say they didn't make money. They can't say they didn't make money. So they know the formula works, but they won't copycat that formula, even though they copycat everything else. They'll copycat and they'll recycle every other narrative, but they won't recycle the narrative that made them the most money. Why? Because it made people powerful, and it made people powerful enough to actually attempt to buy the network. And they were like, fuck out of here. That'll be the last time we put something on like that. So
well,
y'all gonna
the life that Bill Cosby was leading, that wouldn't have lasted long anyway. So
I mean,
maybe that's why they didn't want him to buy NBC. Like, we keep putting on that. Maybe that's why. Like, dog, you dirty as all get out. No.
Yeah, but see, I don't even feed into that, because Woody Allen is still protected.
That's cool.
Woody Allen married his adopted daughter and is still knocking her down to this day.
Woody Allen's right.
But this is what
thank you. Yeah. Let's call it what it is.
No, but
let's call it what it is. We know what that is.
No,
but
that's
just because that. But the dirt is the dirt.
But that's my point. The dirt is only the dirt because of the racial situation. They will protect theirs. So that's why I don't give these execs any excuses on what they did.
Oh, no excuse.
Yeah,
no excuse.
That was my only point.
No excuse. And to back up your point, I remember, again, Forrest Gump of the game. I'm interning at MTV at the Beach House, and I got cool with the late, great Fred Jordan. He took me under his wing. He got promoted to an exec position, and he would have me come around sometimes when execs were there. And I used to notice, I said this in my last interview, that every day at 3-something, all these MTV execs would watch BET. And I finally asked why. And they said because that's how they tell who's hot in the Black community, and they get that artist and then decide if they can make them mainstream or not, aka if white people will like them. And they told me this this is when I was interning in 1998. So when I went to BET, that's what gave me my success, because I knew that they were watching. So I would call my homeboy over there and say, yo, I'm about to play Eve's video. I'm about to play her. So I knew the signs of what they was doing. So that's what helped me out. And that's what, like I said, you're 100% correct, is that there's an image. That's why there's certain artists like Alicia Keys and Tweet came out at the same time, but Alicia Keys was chosen. And Tweet, they both played instruments. They both were supremely talented. It's just that Alicia Keys was suitable for mainstream America.
To be
way over Tweet. There you go. Thank you. Marketable. So it does happen all the time.
Y'all. I'm not saying one is better looking than the other.
Yeah. But so that's what they're thinking of. And then the reason why I put it on Black producers is because you're standing right there watching it happen. And if I, as a production assistant, can give an idea and look at these white folks and they go, wow, we didn't know that, then I'm looking at you as a producer going, you can't say the same thing. You can't be in a meeting and go, why don't we add this? Or, that probably wouldn't come across too cool. So I look at it both ways. Like, I don't view Black folks in the industry as victims in that sense. Like you're standing right there watching it happen. You're watching it happen in real time. You're not saying anything. You're not doing anything because you're scared for your job, which you probably wouldn't get fired in the first place.
Miss Edie and I know we're on Miss Edie. I'm not coming at you. Thank you for watching. She wanted to know, what is the solution? Is there a solution in your mind, D-Brad, of what goes on in this industry? And please discuss the solution. Go ahead. What is it?
Turn the goddamn TV off, Black people. How about that? Stop looking at that damn television and hoping and wishing it was your face, it was your image. If I could just stand next to these white folks in Hollywood, it's like, for instance, I'm gonna go see this movie Sinners. I think it's gonna be really good. But the way that folks are talking about it, it's like you do know the same people that produce the films that you say are horrible and devilish, they produce this one too. So which is it? You can't hate Satan in one moment to love Satan the next moment when he gives you what you want. That don't make any sense. And television and film and the media is way too influential in Black culture because we know what time it is. So if someone's giving me negative images, why am I going to sit and pray and beg you to give me positive images? It doesn't make sense. It guides our children the wrong way. So if my thing was being hard, turn the TV off. But if you can't turn the TV off, no problem. Because I watch sports and stuff like that. I watch wrestling and all that, right? But at least know what you're doing so that you can have a choice in the matter. Understand the images that you're watching. Know that you really didn't like that you saw that image on television. Not trying to live like what you see. So that's the fun part, is that you got to know yourself. And that's how I survive hanging at all these crazy events, knowing myself, understanding like, okay, I don't do that, but I don't have to watch everything. You watch what you watch when you're watching television. And so that's what I would tell people to do, is like kind of watch what you watch, like really turn it off and get some fresh air, get some new thoughts into your mind. But if you can't do that, just make sure that you're very aware of what you're watching and stop worshiping so much. Because if you look back in ancient times, if in ancient times the king would get bored and go, summons me Jay-Z, I want to hear him rap. And then Jay-Z raps and he goes, okay, you go on. And where's the Beyonce? I want her to sing. They were called jesters. So we've taken the jesters and turned them into gods.
Whew.
That's all entertainment is.
I listen, D-Brad, you haven't watched the show. I have been sitting here getting destroyed by people for saying, stop worshiping these people. Stop jumping out the window for people who you know are involved with stuff that you know are filthy, but you still want to put them in God status. And all I'm told is that I'm a hater when I try and point out that these are just people who have a talent, an amazing talent, but are involved in a business that is as dirty as you can be. It's as disgusting as you can possibly get. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Listen, you're 100% right. These folks jumping out the window for people that won't even walk through the front door for them. I've hung around enough celebrities in my time. I'm talking personal, in their home, around their siblings, see her when she get up with no makeup on, see him when he arguing with his wife, bringing me in to help settle the argument. I can honestly say one quote-unquote celebrity, Rosario Dawson, that I was cool with, actually gave an F about what was happening with the people. I cannot remember a celebrity or athlete ever sitting around like, man, I want to make it better for the world. No, they don't. They want to win an Oscar. They want to win an NBA championship. And I always tell people, they're not in your world. They don't care about you. The average entertainer could care less because they don't have the time. I'm on the hustle. I got to maintain his lifestyle. So I don't have the time to think about the fan out there. I've been with celebs where, there was a certain athlete. I was with her and she was a superstar at the time. Yo, we chilling. Shorty like, yo, D-Brad, I don't feel like signing the autographs, man. Why don't you just be my security right now? I did it because it was funny, but I've been there like, oh, here they come. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. I've seen it up close and personal. That's why I used to tell my little brothers, like, yo, you don't want to meet your favorite rapper, dog. Let that image stay in your head where you at.
Goddamn. Jay, Kamari, any questions before we wrap up?
Oh man, I could talk about this all day long. I love what you said. Turn the TV off. That's the solution.
Turn it
I know
off.
Miss Edie was looking for, well, we should start our own network. We should do this. I mean, but the biggest thing for me is to thyself be true. And that's what you said.
Yep.
So that's all I got. That's all I got.
Because if you know who you are, trust me, I've been in the scenes. I done seen things, but if you know who you are, you just simply go, I don't do that, and you walk out the room. It ain't traumatizing. You ain't waking up with no body parts hurting. You just simply look. And I was known for that. I saw it. I would laugh. Like, yo, look what they doing. I got real quick. That's how I got my promotion at BET. I called the execs watching something they shouldn't have been watching. I called them on it, laughed at them. 6 months later, I got a whole BET moving to New York. I got a whole new situation going on from the same execs who was in that room. That was their way of being like, chill, don't say too much, because it was clown. So I never took anything seriously in that industry. So I would laugh. It was easy for me not to drink with someone. It was easy for me to be like, yo, they just put something in your drink. Like, because I didn't care. It wasn't my world. I was kicking up dust.
All right, so you said you're a conspiracy theorist. So is Mike.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Before we go, and I'm gonna let you get into it, I would like everybody to stop saying conspiracy. It's a theory. The word
y'all owe us
conspiracy.
apologies.
The word conspiracy
you.
was formulated by a man that was one of the most conspiratorial creators, in J. Edgar Hoover. That word, it's just a theory. If I would have told you right now that they shipped millions of black people, Africans, to a country and enslaved them for hundreds of years, and you didn't have any evidence, you would say it was a conspiracy and you wouldn't believe me. So please stop calling things a conspiracy. It's a theory. And 9/11, I don't want to get into it. Go, Jay Black, go get it.
All right, so Mike has a theory. So, and since you're on that same lane, he has a theory that Michelle and Barack Obama is broken up and is over. What are your theory on Michelle and Barack? Are they together or not?
Where's the clip?
No, I just want to let this. I'm gonna
because I have a theory about Obama and them too, but
thank you, son. Thank you, son.
So,
thank you.
I'm gonna leave that one alone, Jay Black, because I have a theory too. Right?
I know what your theory
I'm gonna have
is.
to digress on that.
I know what your theory is, and there's been videos that proved it, and this is why I'm telling you. And this is why I'm trying to tell y'all, stop putting these people, but go ahead.
But hey, can I give you a theory? Because I heard the brother speaking, and I forgot. I apologize. They're talking about the business, and I forget your name, brother. I apologize. I can't even see it. Kamari. He was talking about the Rockefellers. I have a theory. You want to hear my theory about the Rockefellers and all their rich children? Somewhere along the line, there was a black woman that worked for the Rockefellers that someone had an explicit affair with them. And the result of that explicit affair, it was a young child named Sean Carter. And here's why I stick with that. No way in the world would the Rockefellers allow a rap label to hold on to that name Rockefeller the way that they do. No way.
You talking about Jay-Z or Diddy? You talking about Jay-Z or
Yeah,
Diddy?
my theory is that Jay-Z, that's why this whole convoluted thing about his mother is that Jay-Z is an offspring of the Rockefellers. Now go look at him and tell me he don't look like an old Jewish dude. And then you take the name Rockefeller, and it's like, why did y'all allow them? The Rockefellers, you allowed Damon Dash and Jay-Z to take a spinoff of your name. And now one time, did anybody from the Rockefeller clan ever go, wait a second? That's like our name. Wait a minute. No one said a word? Nobody? Zero? And Jay-Z being in the position that he is it really because he's the dopest MC? Which I do think he's a dope MC. But is it really? Or is it more to his story? Because everyone in the entertainment industry that has any success is related to someone else. As I said last interview, my direct cousin's name is Michael G. Moy. He co-created Married with Children, and he wrote for every black sitcom in the 70s. That is my direct connection to Hollywood. Anyone that's successful in anything is related to someone major. That's my theory. Like I also theorized that what we consider outer space is really the deep sea. You want to see aliens? Go look at your local aquarium. You want to see an alien? Go find an octopus. You want to see an alien? Go look at a squid. I theorized that the deep sea is what we were taught to look at what space is. Anything that we've ever seen, any alien movies or whatever, you can't see anything that ever came from outer space that resembles that. But I definitely can get with you and look at some deep sea photos of fish, and you go, wow, it looks like the predator. Wow, it looks like the alien. Wow, it looks like this. Wow, it looks like that. I have a bunch of African aquatic frogs swimming around in my aquarium right now. That's about as alien as you could get. An octopus has 3 hearts, 8 brains, and a brain in each arm that acts independently, can shapeshift, can color shift, but yet is blind, colorblind. I'm just saying.
It is alien.
See, those are my theories. I theorize stuff like that.
Well, because I know Jay Black wanted to get in. Let me just ask you.
No, I'm good.
Do you think Michelle and Barack? Because Jay, first of all, Jay started this. I was not.
I was just trying to get. He was on the theory lane, so I was like,
my thing is, do you think there's trouble in their relationship? Forget your other theory. Do you think there's trouble? That's it.
Listen, I'm getting to the stage of getting married. All I do is hang out with my married homeboys. I don't know a married man yet that ain't in trouble all the time. I ain't seen him. So, is Barack going through what every man married goes through? Probably, yeah. Like, just because he's the president, you better president your ass and clean out that garage. Like, you better president your ass and clean that driveway. Like, president where? Ain't no president. You ain't president over me. Yeah. Probably. Every day you feel like you about to lose your marriage.
Since I didn't want to open this can of worms, but I'm gonna open it. I want you to hear this, and I want you to take away the person who's saying it, right? And I want you to say, if a man said the same exact thing, would it be cheered, or would they be some drama behind it? How would it be taken? So I'm going to play this clip, and I know everybody's going to be up in arms when I play the clip. I just want you to tell me, if a man said this in a situation, how it would be taken. I just want to ask. I'm just going to ask you.
Here we go.
It's coming, brother. It's coming.
Skip the inauguration. You know, what people don't realize, or my decision to make choices at the beginning of this year that suited me, were met with such ridicule and criticism. Like, people couldn't believe that I was saying no for any other reason, that they had to assume that my marriage was falling apart.
Right.
You know, it's like, while I'm here really trying to own my life and intentionally practice making the choice that was right for me, and it took everything in my power to not do the thing that was right, or that was perceived as right, but do the thing that was right for me. That was a hard thing for me to do. I had to basically trick myself out of it. And it started with not having anything to wear. I mean, I had affirmatively, because I'm always prepared for any funeral, anything. I walk around with the right dress. I travel with clothes just in case something pops off. So I was like, if I'm not going to do this thing, I got to tell my team, I don't even want to have a dress ready. Right? Because it's so easy to just say, let me do the right thing.
But then you become a shock absorber.
Yeah.
And that's what women are.
Yeah.
Shock absorbers.
Yeah.
And that's exhausting. And it's not healthy.
Yeah.
It is not healthy. You've had to be shock absorbers for your husband, for your children, for your mom, for your family, your loved ones, because of where you were sitting in the public eye. That's not fair to you. When do you ever get to live for you? I applaud you.
I just want to know, if a man had said that, would he get, I applaud you for not doing the right thing by the person you're married to? I just want to know.
There must be like this universal script that's given.
What is your opinion? Would a man after he said, I didn't do the right thing because I wanted to do what was right for me, would the man had after that been told, I applaud you for that?
Well,
another man, yes.
Well, from my perspective, to be clear, my woman is in the next room, so I feel that I need to refrain from answering this question at this particular time.
Good answer. Good answer.
I believe so, sir. Thank you.
Good answer.
Keep this comment up there. I want to keep this comment because this is where I love it. If a man said that, said this after his wife was the president for 2 terms, and he was called a monkey and man the entire time, and decided to do something for him. He absolutely would not be ridiculed, not by me. Got it. I know it's full of I know it's full of shit. Because right now, if Obama had ever said, I'm going to do what's good for me after 8 years of fighting this evil system, I'm exhausted, and he would have let down Michelle, y'all would have been like, what? What he did was best for him. Do you know how much she sacrificed for 8 years? Not that he sacrificed anything for 8 years, because no, of course he didn't. He didn't sacrifice anything for 8 years. His life wasn't on the line for 8 years. And I know nobody, everybody want to get upset over it.
See, that's why you're single. That's why you're single, because you don't know how to be quiet. See, everybody else is quiet.
You see, they say
running off at your mouth, bro. That's why you're single,
Bradley,
bro.
good answer. They say good answer for you, but not Mike. Mike
Like, you ain't even read the room. You got 3 other grown men that's all sitting here like this.
like,
And there you go.
And keep this one. And guess what? I'm single for a lot of reasons, and y'all probably right. But the fact of the matter is, I can't be with somebody that I can't say this to. So if that means I'm going to be single, I'm going to be single in real life on everything I love. Let's be clear. The right thing wasn't.
Oh, you can say it. You can. Yeah. I can right now walk out here, go to that room, and say what I want. And say the same thing. I can do that. I can. Now, would it be the most logical choice to make this early in the morning? Probably not.
Hold on. Go back to the last comment. Let's be clear. The right thing wasn't something against her marriage. Who are you to say it wasn't against her marriage? The only person that can say it are the 2 people in the marriage.
She said it wasn't against her marriage.
But this is
You're
my
not
thing.
breaking up, Mike. Don't make this into something.
First of all, I'm just going to have to bring the tapes out.
Okay, bring the tape.
But my thing about this whole thing is a man saying that y'all can front like it would have been taken the same. But it would not have been taken the same, because they would have said, why would you leave your woman hanging out there by herself if she had to go into enemy territory by herself?
I will agree to a certain extent that it comes across certain things that come across as contradictory. Like I've always said, although I voted for, I always get corrected because I call her Kamala, but I think her name is Kamala. No, it's Kamala.
Kamala.
Yes, I voted for the sister, but I've always said if that was a black dude that was running for president, his wife was stone cold Karen White, y'all would be tearing this dude apart. There would be, and I don't care what black college he went to. There wouldn't be no, oh, he went to Spelman. No, it would be his wife is white. That's what it would be. So I do see the contradictions at times in the statements that are made. So I get where you're coming from, because I do believe to a certain extent that if it was a man that said that it would be taken different. But that's why as men, we just learn not to say that.
They are a union, but she is also an individual capable of making her own decisions. I absolutely agree. I'm just saying, if a man said that, it would look like we left her out to dry.
Yeah.
By herself.
I think what complicates things, and because my daughter's 16 and I was talking to her, is that we're in a day and age where women, I'm up here. This is how I want to be treated. This is what I need to be done. This is the standard that I've set. But the problem is it doesn't seem that a lot of people understand that with change, there's change. So there's change, but now as a male, no, I still expect the same things from you. Now I'm going to change. I'm going to go off and do me. I'm going to find myself. I know we married, but I'm still taking my girl's vacation. I'm still doing these different things. I want to find myself. I'm going to change. But as a man, I still expect you to be that breadwinner. I still expect you to be stoic. I still expect you to be all these things that the old dynamic said you were supposed to be.
But
and I think sometimes
we still live in a misogynistic society. And we
very much so.
We still look at women as animals. That's
bro,
why women, especially.
No, don't add that we, brother. Don't add that we.
No, I'm speaking for me.
Maybe you. I don't.
Not y'all. I'm talking about society as a whole.
Ain't no we. Ain't no society as a whole.
Wait a second. Y'all gonna scream at me? Y'all saying, Miss
no we.
I'm screaming
Listen,
too, lady.
Society looks at women, especially black women, as animals, just like slaves were viewed upon years ago. And the whole reason we having this conversation is because we don't believe Michelle Obama, a black woman who was ridiculed for 8 years, was called the man. And by the way, Barack never called that dude out publicly, right? Those dudes, because plural. And she said, no, fuck out of here. I'm not going to see the orange monkey. Fuck him and his bullshit. I'm cool with it. I get it. Is there a double standard? Maybe. But there's a double standard for everything. So salute to that.
Well, in that case, like if you bring up Trump, no, but what comes across as contradictory with that is that she loved her some George W. Bush. So you hate Trump, but George, you're holding his hand, you're sharing candy with him at an inauguration. So that's where I would say that the contradiction can lie, because George W. Bush was no better than Donald Trump is.
Yes,
even as a human being, to a certain
he was.
extent.
Yes, he was. His policies, Trump's policies are trash. And then, listen, Bush was terrible. Kanye said it. George Bush don't care about black people. We can acknowledge that. Trump's policies and everything that the right stands for right now is the total abolishment of black people. Bush was totally different. But I get what you're saying, but I think we got to put that into the record.
Yeah, but also too, as black people, the total abolishment, y'all would let that dude do that. Like, when is Black America going to get rid of the boogeyman? At what point is Black America going to say, okay? Because first of all, I'm only 52, but I know for a fact I've never seen a time in my life where there was a president in office that Black America was like, yo, we chilling, we good. Never. Ever. Black people have always been at the bottom of politics. So all of a sudden now I'm going to pick this dude and make a, like, how much longer before black people go, listen, it is what it is. We're going to operate through this. Or it is what it is. We're going to make different decisions. Or if you're going to yell and scream about Donald Trump, then I need the same black people that most people I go to. I go, well, who's on your city council? They can't tell me. Who's on your school board? You can't tell me. Who's your local reps? You can't tell me, but you'll tell me about Donald Trump. So if we're going to go that route, as black folks do.
Let me read a comment real quick. Ms. Clark, so Mike, if your wife said the best thing for her mental health is to abstain from certain events, would you feel abandoned? I'm saying I want
He's not going to answer the question.
No, I'm going to answer the question because what it is.
Give me 1 second.
What I'm saying is then give me the same grace when I do it. Give me the same grace when I feel my mental health is to abstain from certain events. And don't make me feel like I'm less of a man and I'm leaving my woman out there by herself. And y'all can sit up here and act like that's not what gets done, but it gets done all the time. If my mental health says, babe, I got to tap out on this one. You're going to handle this by yourself. It's you. Y'all would be like, Mike can come with you? Well, he said after 4 years of this, he just couldn't handle it anymore. Y'all wouldn't give me the grace. Y'all wouldn't give Barack the grace.
Jay-Z. Don't compare yourself to Obama.
Well, but the question was directed towards me to include me.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's be real. She did not go because she don't F with the orange man. Stop making this more than what it is and respect that she stood on business. And it's funny how standing on business, if it overtakes, you got to do this on your own, then cool. If y'all think that's standing on business, cool.
Why was it a big deal that she didn't go? I'm out the loop. Why was it a big deal that she didn't go to what? Like, I'm completely out the loop.
It was a funeral, right?
It was a funeral that every first lady who was alive is going to go. And then there was the inaugural where he had to show face. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to go. He did everything he could to keep this guy out the office.
Oh, no. My wife's showing up to that. I ain't trying to hear that finding myself talk. Now, babe, you showing up to this. Yeah, all right, all that. You find yourself when the inauguration's over, B. Nah, that would have been an argument on my end. Like, nah, because you've been here, you're part of the package right now. Just show up to the joint. Ain't nobody tell you to talk to Donald in the first place, but you talk to Donald for anyway. That's how I would be. I mean, so yeah, that would have been an issue for me.
Anyone who compares Bush to Trump is insane. Listen. I'm not going to get with that.
I'm not arguing over two old white dudes, yo.
I'm not going to get into I'm not going to get into the semantics of which racist was a better racist or which oppressor was a better oppressor.
My bad. You out your mind.
That's insane. But I will get into this. That was a president who okayed the bombing of kids. And when they found out why they bombed, they said, my bad, because they knew there were no weapons of mass destruction. So listen, I despise what Trump is doing, but I'm not going to get into the levels of killing people, innocent people. And I'm not even going to get into the World Trade Center.
I mean, we shouldn't even be putting, and this is a prime example of what I mean when I'm talking
I
black
would feel
folks.
abandoned. Yes, Michael, answer to the question. I would feel abandoned. Yes, because this may not be healthy. This may not be healthy. But if I had to sacrifice my mental health and I knew you were going somewhere and I knew you needed me, this is my innate nature. I would go. I'm not comparing myself to anybody, but the question would ask, would I feel abandoned? Yes. That's the answer to the question.
Yeah, I wouldn't have felt abandoned. It's just the principalities of it all, baby. You know what this is. Like, I don't want to hear what I need to find myself right now. Just show up to this event, or I'll show up with someone else. I'll bring one of our daughters. Because look, I'll bring one of the daughters. Make you really look bad.
The daughters wasn't going. The daughters wasn't going. They ride with mama.
That's because that's because Barack don't wear the pants around it. Obviously, he ain't wearing what you got on tattoos. What you got on tattoos?
But I do want to go back real quick, right, to what D. Brad said, because I agree with just about everything you said. We got to own it all. We need to know who's on city council, and I talk about this all the time. I've worked in various positions in politics. People don't know the difference between a city council person and a state rep. They don't know the difference between Congress and a state senator. They think everything lasts or starts and stops with the president, and it doesn't. So I will agree with that.
And they call you insane because you're not part of the gang. Like, and the other thing too is I get Donald Trump and a dislike for him, but I refuse to be emotional. That's why I don't get into political conversations, because I don't want to be illogical. And I'm tired of being bullied into being illogical. Like, I don't have to hate this dude. I don't have to be obsessed with this dude. So that's why I really don't get in conversations with black folks about it, because I'm like, no, because I'm not going to sit here for the next hour talking about some dude who's not even thinking about me. I'm giving all my energy to someone as opposed to figuring out how I'm going to survive in all of this. I'm sitting, staring at the television, pointing at this dude, going on social media, calling him out his name for what? Because we got
I don't think you got to do all that. I think that's a waste of time. And I will say, black people have always figured it out, no matter if it was who brought up Hoover earlier. Hoover was terrible. Right? COINTELPRO was terrible. We figured it out. So we're always going to figure it out.
How did we figure that out? Exactly.
What do you mean? We worked through it. We kept going. We're still here.
We took pride in getting our behinds kicked, but still rising. That's what we did. We got our butts kicked, and we said, still I rise.
All right.
Slap me again, I'm going to get back up.
Lady Q says it's terribly toxic to think that in order for you to feel supported, someone has to put their mental health at risk. I have put my mental health at risk, and every man has put their mental health at risk every day. Who's the young lady
that said that?
That's Jay Black's wife.
No, that's my wife that said that one.
Jay Black, to ask you, Queen, why is she talking to him? Why is she even debating with somebody who's single? He don't know nothing. Single people don't know nothing. Jay Black, you mad? Your wife, she knows everything, and you know everything. He don't know nothing. I don't know why she wasting time with him.
This is my imaginary comments. You and Jay Black have put your mental health at risk sometimes, having to do things that you knew you weren't mentally really ready to do. But I'll take that back. I'll go back to me. In a relationship, yes, I'm not trying to be manipulative. I'm not trying to manipulate anybody. You asked me would I feel abandoned. I did. I said yes. But once again, when a man says he feels abandoned, he's called toxic. He's called toxic when he says he's abandoned.
Give me an example.
An example of what?
That scenario you're talking about.
Of not being there for somebody when
and then being called toxic.
No, when a man says he's abandoned, it just happened. I said I would feel abandoned, and I'm called toxic for saying that. And I'm told that my feelings are toxic.
That's because you added on a whole bunch of other stuff, Mike.
No. I said I felt I would feel abandoned. The question I answered, I would feel abandoned. I told my lady that I told my lady that I'm cool. I told my lady that I'm cool with the double standards in society. Don't get upset with me benefit from the double standards when I can benefit from hers. Okay. I like how Jay said, yeah, that's my wife. I picked up what he put down in that moment. I disagree. I'm not doing a damn thing that's going to put me in a dark place, and my husband doesn't. That's why I took it back immediately. I took it back. God bless. And if Jay hasn't gone up and gone to work when his mental health was at risk because he felt like he had to provide, I'm sorry. The toxic part is you expecting her to compromise her mental health. First of all, see, this is what women do. Put the first one. This is what women do. Put the first one up.
Here we go.
Listen to the statement. The toxic part is you expecting her to compromise her mental health. I did not say that. I said I want to be able to do the same thing and receive the same grace that you receive. So make sure when you rewind, you watch what I really said. You watch what I really said.
All right,
That's not what I said.
I know this seemed like a topic we should bring back, Mike. Obviously, earlier.
I'm late for work to go do something that's against my mental health. All right. My dad would say, stay home in a heartbeat, and my mom would represent the family on many occasions. God bless. We got to get to this tomorrow. Everybody who joined us, come back tomorrow. D. Brad, thank you so much for taking time out. Kamari, thank you so much. Ask him how I encourage him. I tell him in a heartbeat, don't go. I've told him I'll work and go 50-50 is necessary. I ain't the one. I didn't say you were the one, but I'm saying people do things, and what you're doing is brilliant, and that's what I applaud. But he takes it upon himself to go past that. That's all I'm saying.
I 110% see your point. It's just too early in the morning to get into all that. I got a long day. I
am the man rapper.
My woman's headed off to work. I already got in trouble for checking on it a second ago. I don't get no more trouble.
All right. I gotta get out of here. I'm about to get in trouble. Thank y'all, everybody. Love me for who I am. I don't want me to be 70. There you go. Because I can never be that. Understand there's only one in life. That's guaranteed. It will end. Peace, y'all. Thank y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Before we go, because I know everybody's mad at me right now. I know everybody's mad, and I'm super late. Hey, hit me.
Jones barbecue and foot massage. Jones barbecue and foot massage. Better come down here, get some of this shit.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but